Oh, man. And there you have it. With Soul Farm in the background, there you've got it. It's unbelievable. We are celebrating today, and we're waving our flags live on Fifth Avenue. Welcome, everybody. LL Israel. Welcome to the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade in New York City. I'm Ernie Anastas here along with Becky Griffin, a former VJ for MTV Europe and now a journalist and television commentator. Becky, it's terrific.
It is, and shalom, Ernie. Shalom to all my friends back home in Israel, where I was in fact born in a small town right next to Tel Aviv on the east, so I spent a long time at the beach. It's a thrill to be here with you and everybody else marking the 66th birthday of the country I was born in with this incredible parade that started with an impromptu 4-block walk-up on Riverside Drive in 1964. And
today it's a sea of blue and white. This parade has really grown immensely over the years, and today marks the 50th annual Celebrate Israel Parade, where over 35,000 marchers will participate as this year's parade travels 30 blocks up New York's fabled Fifth Avenue. We're live right here on East 68th Street and 5th, of course, covering the parade on My 9, as well as our fans watching the webcast in Israel and around the world.
So earlier today, the parade kicked off with a bunch of dignitaries. Of course, we had Mayor de Blasio and a lot of dignitaries. And
we had the New York Mounted Police, of course, so they were on board. The shofar, yes, that was a very important part. We want to talk. There he is.
There we have the shofar. That is Mr. Stanley Potchhauser, a resident of Wantagh. He's the past president of the Belmore Jewish Center, and he is, of course, the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. He has been selected for the 17th consecutive year. That is such an honor to be nominated.
All right, and we also have the military color guard with us today, and Mayor de Blasio, of course, waving his flag with great pride, walking along the parade route today, and a beautiful day it is on Fifth Avenue. Chuck Schumer, Senator Schumer, always there. You can always count on him. He shows up at every parade. Congressman Charles Rangel. And,
so does Andrew Cuomo. He comes here every year.
Yeah, he was very happy today. You could see him smiling, waving to the crowd. Yeah, you know, a very enthusiastic crowd as well. I mean, the families lining the routes, especially when you see these young children. They're just so sweet. Just love their faces.
They're here with their families, they're here with their congregations, the schools they go to, whether it's their private Jewish schools or Hebrew schools for after areas. But you can see that the Jewish community in the tri-state area has a very strong connection to Israel, as do the dignitaries.
Yes, they do. And you know, when you talk about the children, we have a lot of floats today. We'll be seeing a lot of young people, and you can see the pride in their face as they wave their flags, as we are right here, and just shouting out LL Israel and being so happy, you know,
you
so
picked
excited.
up on it,
I
Ernie.
did. Well, you've taught me well.
I'm going to take you back to Israel after this thing. He's going to speak Hebrew.
Man, I think so, because we're learning a few words today. But we have a lot of important guests, and we also have some people who we want to introduce everyone to. We have a third member, Becky, of our team. A very happy character.
Yes,
there you go.
Here I am. Yes, I am so happy to be here with you in the booth here, the third member of your team. Oh, it just fills me with such pride. Thank you so much for choosing me, Ernie and Becky. Oh.
Grover, you're looking good. You really are.
Grover,
thank you.
It is such an honor to have you back with us. We know we're going to have so much fun. You have so much important input about Israel. I know you've been there so many times, right?
Well, once. I've been there once. Yes.
Once?
Yes, once.
Maybe we should take you back again then.
I would love that.
And that would be a
I
great
had such
trip.
a good time when I was there.
Well,
but
Grover,
I feel like I am back now.
yes, you
You
are.
kind of are.
You're here to celebrate with us, and
Do you want a flag?
Oh, thank you. I love a flag.
Okay,
here you go.
You can wave that flag too.
Yeah.
Grover, you must be happy. At least you have one Ernie here with you, okay?
He's also in blue, just for the Israeli parade.
Well, you know, not just for the parade, but I am blue. I am in blue. Yes.
Maybe you're an Israeli puppet.
Could be.
I don't
He's
know.
thinking about that.
I don't know. I never really even thought of myself as a puppet.
Why don't you? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
No, not at all.
An Israeli...
No, I cannot be insulted on this wonderful day.
Grover, you're such a good guy, and we're so happy you're here.
Oh,
now, you know what? We have a lot of good guests here today. We also have another part of our team, Robert Moses.
With another guest as well.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Robert. Hey, welcome to the parade. Shalom, and here we are once again.
Shalom. Ernie, Becky, and Grover, good afternoon to you. So nice to see you. I didn't know that Grover was going to be here. What a great third member of our team. And One of my friends, Michael Miller, is here with me now on 5th Avenue and 68th Street, the Vice President, CEO of the Jewish Community Relations Council. Michael, always such a pleasure to see you. I just checked the weather, currently 69 in Central Park. I think we're headed up to about 77 today. I'd say that's just about perfect, right?
I think it's ideal. This is an ideal parade, so we have ideal weather.
Now, earlier today, we had the run in Central Park, which was really special. Now, you didn't run it this year. I know you did last year, but tell me a little about the run and the significance of it as we see some video from this morning.
The run is quite an experience in its own right, in that about 6,000 plus ran this morning in support of Israel, to celebrate Israel, a 4-mile run. There are 4 mile markers. They start in southern Israel, Eilat. The first mile marker is Jerusalem, the second mile marker is Haifa, the third mile marker is Caesarea, and they end up in Tel Aviv, and we have a little festival in Tel Aviv for them when they get home. It's really beautiful.
See some of those runners, and I did some research. I think the winner on the women's side actually hails from Queens, so we have a local winner of one of the races this morning. This is the 50th year for this amazing parade. 3rd year that I've gotten the honor to do it. How great is this parade, and tell me about how it's grown over the years.
This parade really speaks for New York's relationship with Israel and Israel's relationship with New York. For the fact that about 40,000 people are going to be marching behind us over the course of the 5 hours of the parade speaks to the love that we in New York have for Israel and how much it means to us. And for the fact that 50 years, year after year, how many events are there of this magnitude that continue year after year like this one does?
And Michael, I think the other thing that strikes me, we hear about so much divisiveness through the year, but this is a day where we can really celebrate unity.
Oh, absolutely. There are people of all different political and religious stripes, of all different ethnicities who are marching in this parade. We set aside our differences because this is a day to celebrate Israel. It's like a marriage. Sometimes the in-laws don't get along with the outlaws, but on wedding day we all get together and we can all celebrate. And today is truly a day of celebration, and we're blessed today to have the amazing weather.
Well, Michael, I'm not done with you just yet.
I hope not. And we also want to thank Fox for all their support, My 9, the entire Fox family. They've done so much in support of this parade as well as other parades, but particularly in support of Israel.
It's our honor to be here, and Michael, you're going to be joining us again in just a few minutes, but for now, I want to send it just about 30 feet over to my north. Ernie and Becky, back to you guys.
All right, we thank you so much, and Robert, we appreciate that. Great comments, and Theodore Herzl once said, if you will it, it is no dream.
In Hebrew, that is, Im tirtzu en zo agada.
I like that. Yeah, and that's why you're here to tell us about all of these different things that we're talking about. Yeah, because you know it so well. But you know, as we watch the line of march and as they're coming by us, you can see the pride, Becky, and you can see the sense of their tradition and values that are trying to be passed along
from generation
to
generation.
And it's not that easy to do, as we know, because you have to kind of teach your children about the language and about the culture. So you can talk about that, of course, we know.
Well, you were talking about the stuff that I'm here to kind of give you a bit more information about. We have 2 amazing Israeli singers with us today. We have Hagit, Yaso, and Chen Aharoni, and also Mr. DJ Black. And we also have special appearances from Soul Farm. So we have, apart from all these marchers and everything, we have, we have 15 marching bands and multiple entertainment groups. Also police, firemen, veterans, Scots, mitzvah clowns.
Yes.
Did you know what a mitzvah clown is?
Tell me about that.
Mitzvah is good deeds. So we have clowns that do good deeds.
Good deeds. You know, everybody will buy into that. You got some camels as well today.
We have camels.
Yeah.
We even have motorcyclists marching. We have rabbis on motorcycles. Anything, you name it, we have it here, celebrating the 50 years of this parade and the 66th birthday of the State of Israel, as many of these groups call it Medinat Israel.
Say that one more time. I like the way.
Medinat Israel. That is the State of Israel.
Very well done. And you know what we're seeing here too is a lot of preparation. because these things just don't happen like that. I mean, over the year, they really have these meetings and organizations, and they plan what they're going to do, how they're going to dress, the entertainment and so forth, and that's the kind of work and passion that goes into this parade every year.
They also have, every year, their themes. This year's theme is about Israeli innovation, so you're going to see a lot of the groups marching that have something to do with that theme that they put together.
Like Waze, for example. I know that Waze is a very interesting.
Waze is
that's big.
Waze
that's a great app.
Waze is one of the biggest ones that has to do with helping you manage through traffic. It's basically a social network for drivers on the streets to help you navigate where there is a traffic jam or where something is stuck, instead of just going into your car and finding it out when you get there.
This is an Israeli innovation, right? There's a lot of history there. I mean, they're creating that.
Well, you know what? To me, it doesn't come as much of a surprise because I grew up in a country where, for me, computer science was mandatory in high school. So when you take a fact like that, it's kind of obvious why from this country you would have all this technology.
Yeah, I think we've got some very happy faces here. Young people who are traveling to be with us today, celebrating. A lot of congregations. We saw the congregation Azura, located on Manhattan's Upper East Side, about 3/4 of a mile from where we are today, and they talk about our bond to Israel being strong and really unbreakable. And also the Progressive Cluster. We have seen them march with us, the New Israel Fund, Americans for Peace Now, Partners for Progressive Israel, and the West End Synagogue. These are really great organizations that support and help promote the ideals of democracy and freedom and justice, peace, and human rights.
Well, Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, so somebody has to promote it.
Yes.
Right now, we can see the kids, the group in the blue shirts with all the flowers and stuff. They are the Sarah Academy. They're from Riverdale, New York, and they are proud to proclaim that Israel counts. And yes, it does. But what they're doing is they're also doing a bit of a takeoff off the count to the Jewish holiday Shavuot. From Pesach, which is Passover, to Shavuot, you count 50 days.
50 days, yes. So, that's a tradition, exactly.
Yes. It's basically counting the Exodus of the Torah.
They're terrific. This school is located on the grounds of the former home, by the way, of Italian opera and symphonic conductor Arturo Toscanini. So they've got a lot of great history there.
Hello, New York. We are SpaceIL
and we celebrate today smiling faces, white and blue, and Riverdale is being represented so well here today. Oh, let's listen to them.
45 years loving Israel.
Ernie, you mentioned the tradition and passing it on from generation to generation.
Yes.
These private Jewish schools, like the kids that we're seeing right now, they study a lot of the Jewish education and the language in their school. So even if they're not getting it necessarily from home, if their parents aren't Israeli and fluent speakers, they're still going to get the tradition, the language, the culture from their high school.
This is so important, and I know that we share this. All cultures are really looking to be able to promote and to perpetuate this great, rich heritage that you have, and the only way you can do it is through the schools and through the home. And trying to fight all the technology out there today, it's not easy to do, but making sure that they understand their roots and where they are today and where they're going and what their values are. That's such a big job, particularly for grandparents who I know are very strong on doing that.
Yes.
Yes.
They maintain the Jewish traditions, whether it's conservative or reform, what may be your way of life or how you see yourself as Jewish. Everybody kind of finds their own way to connect with, their history, their culture.
Some of the other schools too, by the way, Becky, the Kohelet Yeshiva High School has been also marching today, Torah-based college prep school, speaking of getting a good education, offering equal opportunity for young men and women to really get the highest quality of Judaic and general studies education. Very proud. This is their third year marching, and we're very proud that they are here today as well. Several other schools and so many organizations, Jewish on the Hudson, the Jewish Federation of Greater Orange County, very proud to be among the thousands of Israel well-wishers here today, and they march with a sense of pride and accomplishment. This, of course, as we said, is the 50th annual parade celebrating Israel's diversity and Israel's 66th birthday. Congratulations.
And right now we can see another group from the Hillel Yeshiva, which is a lower school and high school. You see everybody in orange, of course, with the flags. We have an American flag in there, too. Dr. Ruth Katz, Rabbi Howard Bald, the lay leaders, faculty, and students of Hillel Yeshiva of Deal, New Jersey, salute the state of Israel on this very special day. And of course, they celebrate the Celebrate Israel parade on its 50th anniversary. And what
they're huge, Becky. They really are. I mean, a presence on 550 campuses on 5 continents. Hillel is the largest Jewish campus organization in the world.
It is. Some of my friends work as part of Hillel on campuses.
Really?
Yes. I recently went to give a talk at Cornell University, and I was brought over there by the Hillel personnel on campus that brought over writers, TV people, DJs. Just that's their way to connect, the college that isn't necessarily Jewish,
right,
with, showing them other sides of Israel via the culture.
It's a powerful group, and by the way, they reach about 400,000 students in North America alone. So they are extremely well organized, and they've got their act together, as we say.
Well, the kids that we're seeing now, they have yet to go to college. These are part of the Hillel Yeshiva lower school and middle school, and they are very excited to be here. Very noisy, very loud.
Hi, guys.
But they're all here on a special day with their school. I mean, can you imagine your school saying, "Hey, we're going to a parade"?
Of course. Yeah, you really can't get much better than this, when you see the young people who are so enthusiastic and waving to us because our booth is right here, and they're walking. We can just touch them and put our hands out there and touch the flag and shake hands with them. Oh, sure, we'll take the flag. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. This is so great. We love you too. Becky, when you see this, I mean, you really have to understand that there's such love and appreciation for Israel and for their culture, and that's the pride that we're seeing.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to see how they, everybody comes in just to celebrate this country, which happens to be the one I was born in. To me, as somebody who moved here just a few years ago, to see all of these Israeli flags on 5th Avenue is an amazing picture.
We wanted to also acknowledge Temple Beth Abraham from Tarrytown, New York, participating here, excited to celebrate their 12th straight year of participation. And their theme is TBA and Israel equal forever. They are here today to celebrate, and here's their flag, music in the background, dancing in the streets. What a great spirit. Translate that for us, Becky. What are they saying?
I don't know. It sounds actually more like Yiddish than Hebrew.
Maybe it is, right?
That would make sense because it's a yeshiva.
And there is a difference. You were starting to tell me about that when we spoke earlier.
Yes,
the difference between Hebrew and Yiddish.
Well,
the
first
two
of all,
languages.
Hebrew and Arabic are the 2 official languages in Israel.
Yes.
We study English as well. But Yiddish is a totally different language, but it seems to be confused as a language that all Jews speak, when it's only a language that European...
And you hear a lot of Yiddish in New York, of course.
Yes, but Yiddish is only a language that European Jews speak. For instance, my family is from Yemen, so we don't speak Yiddish. So when people say something to me in Yiddish, they expect me to know, but I have no idea what they're saying.
Well, it's all one language for us today, right? The language of celebration.
The language of the love of Israel.
That's right. Also with us today, Lower Merion Community Cluster, the Torah Academy of Philadelphia. This is a diversely Orthodox day school that's located in Philadelphia. Students have this real great passion and commitment. Again, as you mentioned, for the love of the state of Israel.
And they're also here for the 3rd time in a row.
3rd time in a row.
So you see all these schools and congregations are turning it into a tradition.
Okay, when I hear this music, I just want to dance. Oh. Okay, this is the, if you can hear us, Rabbi Haskell Lutstein, Ramaz Middle and Upper Schools.
Ramaz School is one of the most known Jewish private schools in New York. I know a lot of people that actually went there. Once again, it's a school where if you want your kid to get that kind of tradition, a Hebrew in their school, those are one of the schools that you're going to send your kids
And Becky,
to.
the banners, as we understand, celebrate Israel's 4 holiest cities.
4 holiest according to the Bible,
Yes.
which is Jerusalem, Hebron, which in Hebrew is Hebron, Tzfat, and Tiberias, which in Israel is Tveria, which is right by the Sea of Galilee up in the north.
We're hearing the voices of these young people in song as written in Psalms 137, Sing for Us from Zion's Song. And again, history, tradition, and
It's
what
all
they're
together.
celebrating. Beautiful. You know, when we are enjoying a parade like this, it also helps everybody that we've got the most beautiful day in New York.
I know.
What a great temperature.
I know.
And people are walking around with their T-shirts on, and they're very comfortable. They're able to freely
I know.
move.
You know what? It rained yesterday for about 20 minutes.
Right.
And I was sitting there going, you know what? As long as it rains today and not on my parade, fine.
You know, I think we were very fortunate because the weather is really perfect.
Yes,
and
it
many
is.
times, if you don't have good weather, it hampens, you know, the spirit and the people who are here today just trying to enjoy themselves. But if you've got the sunshine, and we have it all day today, it's not going to rain at all.
It's a beautiful day. It was even beautiful in the morning for the run that was taking place earlier. And now we have the Jewish Educational Center,
Yes.
which
This is from Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yes, and there's a cluster of a few different schools here. The elementary division of the JEC is marching for the 5th. Oh, sorry, they're not marching for the 5th time. They're marching up 5th Avenue, of course, like everybody else.
Yes.
And you see, like I said, they're showing their support of Medinat Israel, which is what their signs and stuff say, which is the state of Israel in Hebrew. And they are celebrating Israel's history and its future. Their theme is Eretz Israel, the land of Israel, the country of Israel, from Moshe to me, from Moses to me.
And as they point out, they model their own efforts on the example set by the Jewish state. So again, it always goes back to the homeland and the love and the respect that they have.
They're also celebrating what we call Tikkun Olam in Judaism,
Oh, that
which
sounds
is
good. Tell me that.
Olam means world,
World.
and Tikkun means fixing. So Tikkun Olam is repairing the world. Same like mitzvah is a good deed. So
That's a good thought.
They're using a mitzvah to make Tikkun Olam.
You know,
Pretty
what's
much.
nice about that too, Becky, is that as young students are learning their language and their tradition, they're also learning so much about the history of their people and understanding the great courage and the accomplishments of the Jewish people and their history. And I think that that's so important to understand it and to be able to pass it on.
You know what? I think that's even more important when you're talking about a minority,
Yes.
such as Jews. We're only, you know, a very small percentage in the entire world. And to have everybody, you know, kind of, whether it's celebrate this tradition or as we can see here with their schools and their congregations, to always make that a part of their life with the music and everything else.
And having such a great influence in the world. When you
Yes.
think about, you know, the Jewish people, of course, those of us who are here in New York know the tremendous contributions in living in this country, whether it be medicine or entertainment or education. I mean, outstanding role models for a lot of people. Outstanding.
Yeah, not just for their Jewish children and
Right.
generations, for
Right.
everybody. I
Right.
mean, I think really the whole thing about the Tikkun Olam and the mitzvah is something I taught at a Hebrew school for a while. We would used to teach the kids a lot about the importance of doing a mitzvah, doing good deeds for other people. Bar mitzvah, you know what everybody
Yes,
celebrates?
sure.
What that means is you are eligible for a mitzvah, or you are capable. So as you're celebrating becoming a man or a woman, this is now when you are supposed to start doing good deeds and
This
be
is it.
responsible.
So you have a bar mitzvah and a bat mitzvah.
Yes.
We have them both.
Yes.
Equality is very important.
Yes, it
Good
is.
balance. We're all for that. This is the Windsor Regiment Drum and Bugle Corps, and coming to us from West Windsor, New Jersey today. Hi there. They were founded in 2007 as an all-age drum and bugle corps and performed local ceremonies until 2011 when they entered the Drum Corps Associates competition circuit. And by the way, they became one of the few drum and bugle corps to achieve a world finalist spot their first year in the field of competition.
Guess what? They've achieved that ever since.
and they've done well. So congratulations. So nice to have you here from the Windsor Regiment Drum and Bugle Corps today. Also, before we saw the Bruia, the high school girls, high school for girls, Bruia, I know I pronounced that correctly.
Bruia, yes.
Right, and we talked about this earlier, that they highlight one of Israel's most popular inventions. We talked about the waves.
The waves, yes.
So they were there today and celebrating in a very special way, smiling, and here come the drummers.
I wonder if people are using ways to get around the city today after all the streets are blocked around this area.
Yeah, it's a helpful thing. We've gotten so used to the technology these days, you know, being able to depend on one app or another to get us through. You wonder sometimes if we're learning anything, or are they just doing it all for us?
Or what? You know what? Everybody that uses, my friends that use GPS, they don't know how to get anywhere because they're so used to directions.
Okay, well, we are continuing our celebration today. Flags and drum corps and children and people who are just smiling to celebrate a terrific day on Fifth Avenue. We're going to take a short break, Becky, and we're coming right back here on My 9. Keep it here. The 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade is produced by the Jewish Community Relations Council. For more information, visit jcrcny.org. The parade is sponsored by UJA Federation of New York, the State of Israel, the Jewish Communal Fund, and supported by Bank Leumi USA, Israel Bonds, and the Israeli-American Council.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you, Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA, let us tie it all together with you.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade. And what a beautiful day in New York to celebrate Israel. We wish you Hag Sameach. The annual parade underway, floats, bands, and marchers from different groups of all parts of the festivities today. I'm Ernie Anastas along here with Becky Griffin, and we also have Robert Moses. We don't want to forget about Grover's part of our team today, too.
We have an entire team here on Fifth Avenue covering this parade. But earlier today, one of our team members, Robert Moses, spoke with Izzy Tapuchi, who is president and CEO of the Israel Bonds.
Joined now by Izzy Tapuchi, the president and CEO of Israel Bonds. Mr. Tapuchi, always a pleasure to see you. What a perfect day for a parade.
Yeah, certainly, it's a beautiful day, and I hope that there are going to be lots and lots of people coming out and supporting Israel in this parade as well.
You were telling me before we were speaking just a bit, you guys have had an amazing year. Talk to me a little bit about this past year.
Yeah. We actually doubled our sales from about 600 million in 2011 to almost 1.2 billion last year. And there's no doubt that that is a result of both the way we've approached it in terms of being more proactive, technology, using internet, and of course getting the right message. We've changed the message from a geopolitical to very much more an economic message of the strengths of the Israeli economy.
Why are Israel bonds such a good investment?
They are, first of all, a very solid investment. Secondly, Israel has never defaulted, neither on its principal and interest. And the result of that, I think when people see good investments, they look at countries that are solid and are going to be returning the debt at the end of the day, taking into account what's happening in Europe in the last couple of years.
And lastly, what does it mean for you to be a part of this parade, such a special day?
Look, from our point of view, I think it's an important manifestation of the fact that I was born while the State of Israel was created, and I think to be part of it is an enormous gratification. And the fact that, quite frankly, as a Jews, we know that we've got the background, the backup of a Jewish state come what may, if something would happen again, taking into account the history of 70, 80 years ago and what happened in Europe to our people.
Now, I don't know if you have any effect on the weather, but you have ordered up a perfect day.
Oh, well, I prayed pretty hard this morning to make sure that there wouldn't be any rain.
Mr. Tapuhi, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes. Great day for a parade.
Okay, thank you, Robert and Mr. Tabuki.
Tapuhi, yeah. Well, now we can see the Israel Bonds float, which is currently playing a very classic Israeli song from a few decades ago.
What is that song?
I don't know the name of the song. I can listen to the words and
I love the
translate
sound
it.
of it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's kind of old school.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, the Israel Bonds are the development corporation for Israel, and it ranks among Israel's most valued economic and strategic resources with a record of proven success spanning more than 6 decades. For instance, in 2003, U.S. sales were more than $1.12 billion, with worldwide sales succeeding $36 billion. That's unbelievable.
Tremendous
for bonds
number.
for a very small country.
And Mr. Tabuki was telling us so much about that and the great pride in this wonderful float that we're also seeing here today. And look at these young people watching by and smiling faces. And
they're all holding a lot of signs with Made in Israel. I think this is the Rosenbaum Yeshiva of North Jersey. Yes, it is. And they take pride in itself being a school of both Torah and academic excellence. And yes, their theme is Made in Israel. So as you can see, they have a lot of signs with, there's one with Waze on it, or there's a pizza with falafel in there.
Right.
There's one that I can see with Bamba, which is... And yeah, Ernie, we're going to be having a bit of falafel later.
We are, yeah. They were preparing some of it out there
Yes.
earlier, and I was getting hungry. They
Yes.
said, we'll come by later and surprise you. But
There they have dream doctors. They're talking about the innovation in medicine for Israel. For instance, Israelis invented, you know how you go to a doctor and everything's on his
Yes.
computer?
Yes.
That was invented in Israel to basically
Great.
save time. And so you can go to a doctor and your entire history will be on his computer.
Another great contribution. Again, Rosenbaum Yeshiva of North Jersey from River Edge. Very nice. And, you know, what better way to celebrate the parade's 50th anniversary and by showcasing, as we have seen, some of the most exciting things made, created, or invented, or grown in Israel. So
I just saw one of the
congratulations.
signs over there with a USB thing.
Yes.
That was invented. That's invented in Israel as well, as long as voicemail.
We are power packed today. And more music as we continue to talk. Hey, let's talk about the American-Israel Friendship League. We did mention that, of course, and we have other kinds of floats here today that are part of the annual event.
Yeah, right now we can see the UJA Federation of Greater Toronto.
Okay, let's
this
talk
is
about
their
them.
first time marching in the parade, so they're probably excited, and we're happy to have them here with us.
We should mention, too, by the way, we have word that recently, this happened just a short time ago, about 16,000 people participated in Toronto's Walk for Israel, and they were very, very proud that their annual campaign is the 3rd largest, as we mentioned, in North America.
That's great. And we also have the Jewish Federation of Northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they serve the Jewish communities of Scranton and also the Poconos. That's a lovely area. So they're part of this Jubilee March, and you can see their T-shirts. Hi there. Hi, nice to see you,
Ernie,
too.
apparently you have a lot of Jewish Israeli fans.
Well, you know, been on the air in New York a long time, and some beautiful people who have just been so kind and good followers, but we're very proud to celebrate today. But we were talking about their T-shirts depicting the Liberty Bell on display in another Pennsylvania city, which proclaims liberty in the United States, Philadelphia, of course, carrying photos of many of the contributions that Israel has made to the world, and we're seeing a lot of that today,
I
aren't
just
we?
saw another one, ICQ. Do you know what ICQ is?
Tell me ICQ. I like that. Sounds good.
ICQ is the first ever instant messaging system that was developed by 4 young Israelis and sold to AOL in 1996. That was one of the biggest Israeli technologies, or biggest first exits that was sold. A few years ago, AOL bought another company owned by my friends who now run their entire video.
Really?
And since, so we've seen ICQ, we've seen Waze, we talked about the medicine and the computer stuff. I mentioned earlier
There are
that
a lot of apps, yes.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that computer science was mandatory when I went to high school, so that's maybe why everybody's creating all these apps. One of them today is actually one of our sponsors called Ask 'em, which is, of course, an Israeli mobile app that allows users to create better polls. You can post a question and get more than just a like or something from your friends. Here's what it looks like.
Take a look at this. Yeah, this is an interesting thing. They created this poll now to Israel, and they're asking questions.
Yeah, like for instance, this one we can see is we were asking people, what is your favorite Israeli food? Is it schnitzel, falafel, shawarma, or hummus?
Yeah, and they're also asking, like, who's your favorite Israeli actress, Israeli musician, your favorite place to go? Take a look at this. And this is like things that you can answer. So if you want, you can vote now, and you can end up having your favorite Israeli food highlighted, and we'll have the results of this coming up a little bit later on.
We have some here, so Ernie, I mean, maybe you can later try and say what's your favorite. This is schnitzel.
Schnitzel, how can you go wrong with that? Should we try a little bit now, or you think it'll be okay to handle this on the air?
Go ahead.
Oh. This is wonderful.
Okay, so
you're bringing out the food now.
That's the schnitzel.
This is going to break it up for us.
Here's your falafel.
Falafel. Let's hold that. Maybe somebody would like to vote for this. I love this taste.
I had falafel yesterday.
Tell us about some of the ingredients.
Well, it's basically chickpeas that is kind of mushed up all into something that you just put in a bowl and you fry it.
Right, and the sauce is very good as well.
The sauce, I'm guessing, is tahina, which in English, tahina, which in English is called tahini.
I think Grover likes it.
I think Grover smelled the food and he came out.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? You guys have such big hearts. I just have to say that the producers just told me that I am not actually an official member of the team here.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
With open arms.
Have some schnitzel,
this
Grover,
is some great food here.
No, of course you're a member of the team. We gave you a flag. You can have some of the food. You can vote on Ask 'em if you want to, too.
Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. You go ahead and, host the parade, and I'll just eat.
Okay,
but you better leave some left for us. You better leave some for us, Grover.
I will. Boy, oh boy. Where will I start?
What do you think?
What are you going to start with?
Maybe this. Maybe this over here. Yeah. I'll just take this with me.
Take a look. We have a couple of books over there too. Hold that up there. Pitopia.
Yes.
Yep.
This is Pitopia, which is basically from the word pita.
Pita. Yep. I'm familiar with that.
Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can. That's a pizza in there with falafel and salad, because that's how we eat it. We don't eat it on a plate like this.
Right.
We eat it as
a sandwich, yeah.
Which actually, I went to a place over the weekends, and I asked for a pizza because I ordered falafel, and they gave me a focaccia, and I was very upset.
Well, there you go.
Because I was like, this is how you're supposed to eat it, in the pizza. I
way.
can't wrap a falafel in a focaccia,
and food is so much a part of the culture as well.
But just one, right before we go on to talk about the food, we also have sponsors to talk about, the Pitopia. Pitopia is a local kosher New York restaurant. They actually have two places not too far from us. One is on 37th and Broadway. The second is on 34th and 9th Avenue. It's an ideal place for Mediterranean cuisine, whether it's falafel like we have here, or shawarma, schnitzel, a soup, or sabich, which is more of an Iraqi kind of sandwich within a pizza with like eggs, salad, eggplant, hummus. And they make the pizzas there themselves, so that's Pitopia.
Lovely things for us to try today. We're going to try to eat in between. I was trying to enjoy some of that schnitzel. I'm going to go back to it. Right now, let's go back to the parade. This is the St. Brigade's Drum and Bugle Corps.
Oh, I love their outfits.
Don't they look great? Beautiful, black and white. They're from Port Chester, New York. Pardon me, celebrating their second year of parades and exhibitions. Pardon me, I've got a little tickle in my throat. Anyway, the Saints are the defending 2012 Drum Corps Associates Individual Ensemble Percussion Battery Champions, and they did participate in the 2013 Celebrate Israel Parade. Glad to be back again for our 50th anniversary.
And right behind them, we saw the Skaters and Bladers. And now we are with the Kids of Courage from Lawrence, New York. The Kids of Courage is a volunteer-based nonprofit organization which is dedicated to improving the lives of children with serious medical diagnosis. With more than 400 campers and staff members, this is in fact the largest traveling group of its kind. That's beautiful, and that kind of encompasses the values of the mitzvah that we were talking about. Doing good deeds and tikkun olam. Their adventures consist of medically supervised year-round programming and annual dream trips, which basically they'll take a bunch of inflicted kids and take them to Disney World and stuff.
Their theme, Israeli Research, Universal Cures, it highlights the advances of medicine in Israel that have allowed these brave children, very brave, to live happier and healthier lives, and we are all for that. Also behind, following, is the Skaters and Blades. The Skaters and Bladers, they're here as a very unique group formed in 2003 in memory of J.J. Greenberg.
Yeah, J.J. never missed a Celebrate Israel parade, and he was a familiar face here on these roller skates. He loved Israel, and his friends and the group skating in his memory say that he could have given us 50 reasons why. So our Skaters and Bladers, they share those feelings as their beloveds JJ as they celebrate Israel's 60th birthday.
It's nice to have those skates on, especially when you're on a long march like this.
Yeah.
That's an easy. I'd like to get on these skates, right? Are you a skater? I'm a skater. I enjoy it.
I am actually.
Are you?
Yes.
Roller skating and ice skating.
Both. Yes. I'm a reared Israeli that grew up in Maine, so I know how to ice skate.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah, you got a lot of good background.
Yes.
This is the Hafter.
Yeah,
elementary and high school.
Another school that we were talking about, a Hebrew Academy of the 5 towns in Rockaway from Lawrence, New York. It's a modern Orthodox yeshiva, which means they study a lot of Judaism and the Torah as part of their regular high school. They are, of course, also honored to participate in our Jubilee celebrations. They have 15,000 students who are marching today under the banner of Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, which is a very famous Israeli song, which means Jerusalem of gold.
1,500 students proudly marching. That's right. And they are, over the past 66 years, the Jewish people, as we know, have transformed Israel into a beacon of light for the entire world.
We can see the banner right now that says in Hebrew, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. You can see the Israeli flag. You can see the old city. You can see a menorah on there, and also the dove and the olive branch, which symbolizes peace, which is very important where I come from.
And yes, it is. And Becky, also, when we speak of Israel, and so many people travel back to Israel, and so many people are there as tourists. Tourism is so big, and a lot of the young people are going there with Jewish background for various camp activities and different kinds of courses that are being offered.
Yeah, like the Birthright,
yes.
Which basically gives free trips to Israel for young people under a certain age.
That's very popular, isn't it?
It is. It's something that some rich Jewish people have just donated their money, but it's also something that is in participation with the Israeli government. Part of the thing is, to give these kids who haven't grown up in Israel and may have not necessarily have Israeli parents to get a bit of a taste of the culture, the history, to see the sights. And a lot of these kids end up making Aliyah to Israel, which means they move to Israel after that.
Actually move there.
Yeah,
relocate.
They connect with their roots via these trips and decide to relocate and stay there.
That's a great way to do it, isn't it? I mean, you talk about real connection. There it is. I mean, you're in the land,
totally.
You're with the people, you're studying the history, you're living it.
And they're also traveling around all these holy sites with, their peers from different countries, and they feel like a total group, and I'm sure it's a very unique experience for somebody who grew up over here,
yes.
who say went to a public school and is surrounded by diversity, and then they go to Israel and practically everybody is
and pride is very
Jewish.
important too. I mean, in a good way, when you speak about the pride that they have in their country, in their traditions, in their history, and in themselves, to understand who the role models are, from Einstein to Gershwin to Michael Bloomberg of New York City. But to understand all of this is so important to their culture and to their growth.
Yeah. And now we have the American-Israel Friendship League float. It's dedicated to promoting and strengthening the relationship between Americans and Israelis of all ages and faiths, which is just what we were talking about, connecting the young people from the two different countries. They connect people from all ages, faiths, ethnic backgrounds, and political persuasions. The AIFL mobilizes broad support for everybody to exchange their own views.
Right, and these delegations are sent to Israel to meet with Israeli counterparts there and to visit the various religious, cultural, and archaeological sites, and there are several of those.
I know there's initiatives from a lot of schools over here to connect with Israeli schools and basically have like high school kids talking to Israeli high school kids, and they can, they ask each other questions.
Great exchange.
And they can see that, some of their experience may be very, very different and unique, but at the same time, they're kids at the same age that, they like to do the same thing.
Oh, there's a real connection.
I did that with the group, and the boys were asking, are the girls hot?
That would be something you would expect. But anyway, Robert Moses is hot and ready to go right now. He's on the road, on the parade route, and Robert, come on in.
Hey, Ernie and Becky, good to see you. And I am joined by a very special guest now, Ambassador Ido Aharoni of the Consul General of Israel in New York. Ambassador, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes. What a spectacular day. Tell me how you've been enjoying the parade so far.
Oh, I love it. I've marched already twice, and I have one more time to march before the parade is over. I march with the mayor, march with the governor, and then I'm going to march with my own team. We have about 250 people marching just from our consulate here.
I saw you bound past once. You came running back. A lot of energy today. This is the 50th anniversary of the parade, and the theme in that vein is 50 reasons to celebrate Israel. Give me a couple of the reasons that you celebrate Israel.
Well, I think there are several very important reasons that our viewers should be aware of. The first is, of course, we're celebrating the unique bond that exists between Israel and New York. There are many interesting facts about that relationship, but we've always enjoyed the support of the city of New York, and the city of New York has always been in Israel a local story. Everything that happens in New York, it's as if it happened in Israel. So that's one reason. The second reason, of course, is the amazing contribution Israel is making to the great community of New York. We have about 250 Israeli companies operating in New York alone. In the greater New York area, the number is even higher. Those Israeli companies are bringing in investment, they're bringing in money, they're hiring New Yorkers to work for them, and they're making a positive contribution to New York's economy day in and day out.
And Ambassador, let's take a second because your float is just to our south here on 5th Avenue, so I want to give you a chance to look at it and admire it. What goes through your mind as you look at those people back there?
Well, I think that they're enjoying themselves. They know that this is a day of unity, this is a day of celebration, this is a day where we all get together and we say thank God that we have that very special relationship between Israel and New York.
And hey, one last thing, this is a special day for you personally for another reason, because I hear your son is celebrating a birthday. Tell me about the birthday, and you've been bringing him here for a while, right?
This is my 8th parade marching. The first one was when my son was 4 years old, and now my son is 16, so it's a very special event for us. The 50th celebration of this parade is a huge reason for celebration for all of us.
Well, Ambassador Ido Aharoni, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for waiting for us today, and we'll let you get back to the marching.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ambassador Ido Aharoni. Ernie and Becky, back to you upstairs.
Thank you, Robert. It's great to see Ido once again. And just passing us right now on the State of Israel float is Hagit Yaso, who's a young Ethiopian from Sderot, who she recently won the Kochav Nolad, which is Israeli Idol, but not exactly the same show, but kind of. In her music, she combines Hebrew, Amharic, which is Ethiopian, English, and Moroccan, which a lot of Israeli artists do that kind of style.
It's a nice blend.
And it's called world music, and then it goes crazy all over the world. But an interesting thing about Hagit is where she grew up and where she lives, which is Sderot, which means that girl has had a crazy life. She's had a lot of experiences.
I can imagine. We also have part of this delegation, the Israeli consulate, and among the dignitaries, including the ambassadors, the Minister of Immigration Absorption as well.
So Philanthropy, and also we have quite a few members of Knesset.
Yeah.
We have Tzachi Negbi, we have Yechiel Bar, Elazar Stern, Zvulon Kalfa, Dovalan Lipman, Yitzchak Cohen, and Yitzchak Vaknin. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of the Israeli Knesset that are marching there, along with the Minister of Immigrant Absorption, Sofa Lanver, and the Consul General of Israel, Chen Aharoni.
What keeps the ties so close? I mean, we've sort of touched on some of this earlier, talking about promoting the language within our homes and our schools. What is the link? What is the strongest force?
I believe it's every Jewish person believes that Israel is their homeland.
Yes.
And I think that is one of the major things.
And there's a real allegiance and a love for that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of at the heart of everything. The religion connects them to the state.
Well, we're celebrating certainly a lot today. Shalom, as we are live on 5th Avenue in New York City with the annual Celebrate Israel Parade, and we are truly having a great day. The weather's cooperating. 250 proud marching groups, 30 beautifully decorated floats, lots of guests, entertainment, well-wishers. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on My 9. Keep it here. Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you. Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA. Let us tie it all together with you.
Turn on your lights, turn on your minds. Gonna leave this world behind, let it all unwind. Yeah. And let our days be bright and easy. Oh, let our nights be wild and low. Let it be while I'm singing the song. Turn on your lights, yeah, turn on your minds. I'm gonna leave this world behind, let it all unwind. Yeah.
All right, Hag Shemea. That's what we're saying today.
I love your Hebrew today,
I've got
Ernie.
it. Soul Farm, too,
That was
is here.
Soul Farm with us. They've become our kind of home band
Yeah, they
here
have.
for the Celebrate Israel Parade. Soul Farm was founded in Israel by Grammy Award winner lead guitarist C. Lansbaum and guitarist and lead singer Noah Solomon Chase. Their sound, Ernie, has been dubbed New American Music, which is kind of what we were talking about before we went to the break, where, where you combine different sounds.
Makes a very interesting sound, too.
Exactly. They've recorded with many well-known musicians, such as Perry Farrell and Dispatch. They've opened for Bruce Hornsby and a bunch of others. They've also been extensively touring throughout the U.S., Europe, Australia, and Israel. And we, of course, love them. We have them with us every year.
They're great. And music, of course, Becky, entertainment, a very much a rich part of the Israeli history too, and the music is so much part of what you feel and celebrating on a day like that.
I think in every culture, probably music is part of that.
Sure.
I think that's just probably just what separates each culture from the other. Everybody
good
has
identification.
Everybody has their little kind of thing that, you know, the food or the music that is unique to them.
And the nice thing is if we can respect one another and appreciate what everyone has, right?
To that.
Peace, shalom is right. Hey, let's talk about some of the floats here today and some of the great people who have been marching with us today. We do have a couple of things we want to talk about, and we want to mention that the Yeshiva Hartorah was here from Queens, New York, celebrating with us today, and it's just a great thing to see the banners and the props. They show the progression of Israel. We're seeing a lot of that today, and the color, of course, representing the offerings made of gold, silver, purple, teal, and crimson, and there's a reason for all of that too. It's all part of the parade's theme. Okay. Also, some of the other things that we wanted to mention was that if you have this marching band that's walking by, you can look out and you can see how orderly they are, and the people on the sidelines are waving to them. And what I like seeing is a lot of families, parents, grandparents. They are just all together.
I think that's most of what we see here today is a lot of families.
Yes.
A lot of families marching together, a lot of communities marching together. And here we have another marching band, more music for us. We have
you okay?
Sorry, yeah, now your cough is passed on to me.
This is the Upper Schuylkill Marching Band. They were originally formed in 1916, what a history, at the Italian Liberty Band. And they continue this tradition right now, playing Italian symphonic marches. They do a lot of interesting programs. And their members are students, they're business people, they're tradesmen, teachers. They're all retired from northeastern Pennsylvania.
And they have won awards for local performances and notable events, including the NYC Columbus Day Parade and the Pennsylvania State Laurel Festival, and of course the Celebrate Israel Parade. So they have a lot of experience marching in parades.
They do, and again, the preparation for this is exciting. You know, they have a lot of rehearsals at school, wherever they happen to meet.
Can you play an instrument?
I'm a drummer. Not a great drummer, but I do like to play the drums. Yeah, I like percussion.
I knew it!
If you ask people, though, if they could play any instrument, I'm sure they'll say a piano or a guitar. They're probably the most popular instruments.
I can't play it. I can play basketball. I can't play
You're good at basketball. That's good. Great athlete. Okay, we're going to continue with our groups right now. Let's talk about HANC.
The Hebrew Academy of Nassau County is marching right behind the music, if you can hear behind us. They're proudly marching together today to celebrate and honor the state of Israel. They are from the Samuel and Elizabeth Bath Golding Elementary School in West Hampstead, the Plainview Elementary School, the Moses Horston Educational Center Middle School, and the Brookdale High School. Their theme,
here we go again.
50 ways to see Israel, which is very clever, which is depicted on their shirts, their banners, and their props.
Yeah, and they're celebrating the 50th parade by focusing on 50 cities and towns in Israel, from north to south, east to west, always remembering to use
wait. I need to figure out.
Can you figure that one out?
I need to figure out if my city, where I was born, is part of their 50 cities that they're mentioning. Is Givatayim in there?
Oh, I'll bet it is. You got 50 cities. I'm sure you're included. Look at this pretty smiling face. You know, what does that tell you when you see the youth today with their friends and with their families, and knowing pretty much what this is about, because they're learning about it in school. They're prepared for this parade.
They're be proud of their background, their culture, where their families are from.
And they're sharing together, which is, as you were saying before, you know, it's one thing when you read something from a book, which is a good thing, or whether it's the internet. But it's another thing to experience it, right?
Yes.
To actually be in that country, and to be in Israel, to be with the people, to be with your friends, and also to share that back here at home. And I think that they learn quite a bit from that.
Coming here together with, 35,000 marchers, you know, just to celebrate Israel, and I think that's pretty special for them as well, not just for Israel to be celebrated.
Beautiful weather on Fifth Avenue today. Couldn't ask for a better day. And this is June 1st, first of the month. And we certainly hope it's going to be a great month. We had a difficult winter in New York. I think it's finally
Especially
over.
for Israelis, Ernie.
Yes.
Israelis they're not accustomed to that kind of weather.
Well, now we have some nice weather to celebrate. Some of the other people that we want to acknowledge, because there are so many different floats, the Jewish Community Relations Council of Long Island with us today. They're celebrating, these are from 20 Long Island synagogues, and they are in support of Israel, of course. They're marching today and celebrating the 50th anniversary. So thank you. And here they go with their music and their marching and their flags. Now, I love this beat. Tell me about this.
You want to dance?
Yeah, I do. I would like to dance.
You know what, Ernie, we mentioned just a few seconds ago, the basketball, just a few weeks ago, Maccabi Tel Aviv won the European Cup in basketball.
Whoa, that's good.
They beat Real Madrid. Maccabi Tel Aviv is actually one of the European powerhouses when it comes to basketball. They've been to the Final Four almost more than any other team.
Oh, that's a great record.
Which is pretty amazing for a small, new country. But
you were playing
fun
basketball,
fact,
you were mentioning as well.
Well, my dad actually played for Maccabi Tel Aviv when they won the first European championship in 1977.
So you come from a family of athletes here. This is great.
Yes.
You know who else likes
I
to?
didn't have a choice but to play basketball.
Well, we're gonna do something right now. We're gonna go on back to Robert Moses, who's along the parade route and usually has a great guest for us. Robert, who are you with?
Ernie and Becky, you know this guy, Michael Miller, the Executive Vice President and CEO of the Jewish Community Relations Council. I told you we weren't done with you just yet. Michael Miller, so good to see you again. How's the parade going since we spoke about 40 minutes or so ago?
It's spectacular, and the sun keeps on beating down, and the colors keep on rising. It's just unbelievable.
I checked the weather, 72 degrees right now. We're going up to about 78 in Central Park, so this march from 57th to 74th is absolutely perfect. I wanted to ask you about the theme this year, 50 Reasons to Celebrate Israel, of course, because it's the 50th anniversary of the parade. What are some reasons that you celebrate Israel?
I celebrate Israel because it's the homeland of the Jewish people. It was reborn in 1948 as a state, and it has flourished over the past 66 years, 50 years that we've been celebrating on the streets here in New York, in so many different ways, in education, in technology, in universities. It's just an unbelievable country. Every time I go there, and I was there 3 times in May, twice on business and once for a very important family occasion, the birth and circumcision of our youngest grandchild. So I have to, if you don't mind, give a shout out to my grandchildren, Izzy, Eyal, Priel, and Liam.
Well, and Michael, I want you to see back here. Let's take a look at your float as it comes north on Fifth Avenue. We planned this very well, I think, right? What are your thoughts as you look toward the float? This parade has grown from humble beginnings. 50 years ago, it started as just a small affair, and now we've taken over all of Fifth Avenue.
Well, I look at this float and the music and the enthusiasm on it, but I look far beyond it and far above it, and I just see a sea of blue and white and other colors, particularly blue and white, the symbols of the flag of Israel, and I'm smiling from ear to ear. This is such a tremendous accomplishment in communicating a very fundamental message of the identification that we have, the love that we have for the state of Israel here in New York.
And I want to pick up on one more theme that Ernie was talking about earlier. He talked about families, and as you look out into the grandstand, you see grandparents and parents and children and grandchildren. This is a generation of people watching this parade, and you talked about that. You have a couple of your grandkids here, but how special is family at this parade?
It's very important to all of us because Israel is family. Whether physically we have family there, as I do, and many along the avenue might, but beyond that, from a spiritual perspective, it's still family. And just seeing the generational connection from little babies to grandparents and great-grandparents whom I've seen along the avenue speaks so much to why we're here today and the excitement and importance of this day.
Michael Miller, thank you so much. And Ernie and Becky, back to you.
Always nice to listen to good conversations, good words. And, you know, Becky is...
Michael's a great man.
Oh,
it's always great
terrific.
to see him again.
Terrific. You know, when we also were talking about family, it's so important because you know, coming from a Jewish home and understanding home, work, education, respect, and you can see it in a lot of these floats as they're passing by the Celebrate Israel Parade.
The Celebrate Israel Parade, which is the JCRC float, which Michael Miller is basically the head of.
Yes.
They're the ones that put together this amazing parade every single year.
Do a great job.
And they kind of, what they do is, you mentioned home, they create a home for the Jews and the Israelis to come together and basically create this thing to come celebrate.
And that's shared within the home, and that's what we were talking about, teaching values of our home, family life, work, education, and respect for others. I think that's very important. We had talked about that earlier.
That's actually one of the commandments, you know, respect thy neighbor.
Yes.
You don't have to be a very religious person to, you know, understand that that's probably the most important value you can live by.
Hey, we want to also mention some of the floats. We had the cluster of participants that we wanted to bring out.
Yes.
Yeah, the various congregations from everywhere, and there are so many of them.
Bethel, Massapequa, we have congregation B'nai Shalom from
South Huntington. From Roslyn.
Congregation of Sons of Israel, the Huntington Jewish Center, Kilat Chovevei Tzion, the Midway Jewish Center. It's a huge cluster, the JCRC. It's a home to many, many different groups and congregations that all come together. We can see them with signs, with peace. And there's another sign we can see with the old wall of Jerusalem. There's Plainview Jewish Center.
There's a lot of coordination that goes into something like this.
Huge.
Yes, really. When you think about, you know, this cluster, for example, there is contact, you know, certainly during the year to make sure that they are on the same wavelength, coming up with, you know, various themes for parades. And as we're talking here, we're getting ready to meet one of our very favorite people in the world. People know her from television, they know her from her books, they know her from all of her great accomplishments, and she's got quite a history. And we were talking earlier about role models.
Yes.
People who make a difference.
This woman is definitely a role model for not only physical relationships between people,
yes,
but also for Judaism, she has a very rich history with fighting for Israel. She was injured in the past, which she can tell you more about in a second, but she truly is a role model for, like I said, for various reasons. And
well, we're building it up because, you know, we've been with her many times, have appeared on television together, and people are probably sitting back and saying, who are they talking about? I think I have an idea. Well, we're going to surprise you, maybe, maybe not. But you're going to take a look at her in just a second here. Guess who it is? Dr. Ruth.
Thank you.
How are you?
Welcome back.
You are doing a fabulous job.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be 86 on June 4th.
Yes.
And I'm here. And guess what? The first time ever, not only do I carry an Israeli flag.
You have a Canadian one, too.
And the Canadian flag as well.
Because I have 2 Canadian grandchildren. And the Canadian daughter-in-law.
Wow.
We were talking earlier about a Toronto Walk for Israel.
I saw them. And I got the flag. So I had to show it. But you people are doing a fabulous job. How did you arrange for this glorious
Yeah, isn't this great?
weather?
I think our weather people helped us out.
I think, you know, the weather gods love the Jews in Israel, too. What can I say? This is the 4th year in a row we have great weather.
I tell you a secret. That weather today is even better than if I would wish you good sex.
Oh. Well, that's quite an interesting line.
I told you she's a role model.
Just for today.
Dr. Ruth, tell us what does this day mean to you? You've been here so many times and you understand. Yeah, tell us personally.
I'm going to be here as long as I live, because when I left Nazi Germany to Switzerland, if there had been an Israel in 1939, I would not have had to be an orphan. Since there was no Israel, look at the fantastic police passing.
This is, we have the High Riders.
They are wonderful.
They really are.
I was teaching Ernie earlier that Chai means alive. Yes.
So that's going to be holding for you, Jews or non-Jews, whoever participated.
This is quite a group.
I was in 45. Right after World War II,
sorry, Dr. Ruth.
Wait 1 second.
We'll just let
We ought to be able to hear what you're saying.
Hold
just
on.
1 second when the motorcycles calm down.
Yeah, we just wanted to mention these are the High Riders Motorcycle Club. That's what's passing. 65 members strong.
They all wear helmets.
We also want to make mention of the Friends of Israel Scouts.
The American Zionist movement, which I'm sure Ruth is aware of, the World Zionist Organization, American Zionist movement, proudly march with their member organizations, reflecting the full diversity of Zionism and the visions of Theodore Herzl, which Ernie mentioned earlier, and the founding fathers of Israel. You were saying that in 1939, Israel existed. Zionism is part of why there is in Israel.
Now, after Israel was created in 45, in 48, I was a sniper.
I was telling you.
I was a sniper.
I don't think too many people have heard this story. No, I think you
but
can share that with us.
I never killed anybody, but I was able to put 5 bullets in the red circle and throw hand grenades. But I was badly wounded on my birthday. On my 20th birthday, a cannonball in Jerusalem exploded, hurt my 2 legs. That's not why I'm short. I would have been short anyway.
Wait. Is that why you decided to make love and not war?
I decided to make love and not war.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but nice. But I go to Israel every year to give them support. I teach them in Hebrew about those things that I talk about.
Interesting.
I'm going again this year.
Wonderful.
I would like to take the 2 of you with me.
We would love to come.
I go there all the time, but I'd love to go
We would
with
love
you.
to go. What is the reaction when you're there and you're speaking and you're giving your really personal feelings and experience?
She's huge. Ernie,
Yes.
she's huge. I know you spoke at Cornell a few months ago
Yes, I
because
did.
you came right after me.
I did.
And the Hillel people told me the place was packed.
Of course.
It's very nice to be Dr. Ruth because I talk about relationships and about sex.
Yes.
And I still do that by everybody knowing I'm old-fashioned, I'm a square, and but I do talk explicitly. But not today.
Not today, yes.
Today you have to rejoice. There are thousands of young people demonstrating for a country and doing something that is for peace.
Out of
and
love.
for peace.
Out of love.
And out of love. They're not getting paid. They are not doing it anything that they have to, but they're doing it every year. And that's why I'm here, to give them support. And I love how many young people, did you see?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
And
we
how
were
they
smiling
march.
faces and their families together.
And especially when they see the 2 of you.
Yeah.
They see
Well,
the television
I think
camera.
more than Ernie
No,
than
they-
me, but
Both of you.
okay.
No, we're
Both
having
of you.
a great time. But you
Yes,
know,
wait, Ruth, we have to go to commercial, but before we do, I was wondering if maybe you can make Ernie an honorary Jew like we did last year with
I
Harry
did.
Martin.
I remember that. What about
So,
you?
I'm Jewish. I was born in Israel.
I just wanted to hear that. I knew that. Ernie, the 2 of you, the 2
honorary-
of us are deciding as of today,
this is it.
no operation.
I
This is
accept this with great honor.
This is
You
your
are now
knighting.
going
Toda
to be-
Rabbah.
Bevakasha.
Right.
Say shalom.
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 Toda Rabbah.
Shalom.
Shalom. We're
Ruth,
taking a
Toda,
break. Keep it
Rabbah,
right here. We'll be right
Rabbah.
back.
We'll be right back.
Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you. Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA. Let us tie it all together with you.
The Israeli-American Council is a proud supporter of the 50th annual Celebrate Israel Parade. And it is a day of great pride for thousands of families celebrating this special event in New York, the annual Celebrate Israel Parade with beautiful floats, bands, hundreds of marchers, and of course the Grand Marshal.
Yes, this year our Grand Marshal is Robert Ben Rimon and his family. We can see in the car. Robert is the founder of Skyframe, and his wife Sheila is with him, his two daughters, Stephanie and Michelle, Stephanie's husband, Michael Rich. And driving the car is Robert Ben Rimon's son, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny and the family. Well, this is so nice. They couldn't ask for a better day to have that top down, you know? Such a beautiful afternoon. Yeah, this is the Grand Marshal, and it's always, you know, so important to choose someone who reflects what we were talking about, you know, the values and the respect and the reputation. And that's a key role in this parade.
A key member of the community who brings people together and represents those values of tikkun olam, of mitzvah.
And understanding that this is the kind of thing that they do, not just to represent this parade, but also throughout the year, the kind of good things that they do, their deeds, their work, what they represent, what they stand for.
A lot of the organizations here, like the JCRC, the UJA, that's what they do year-round, is, you know, putting together the two communities, the Israeli community and the Jewish community, that might seem as something that is just automatic, but of course it isn't. So this sort of thing, like these sort of initiatives, whether it's the parade or things that are done within the congregations, are all built to build that relationship between the Jews in the United States or in New York and the tri-state area, not only with their Judaism, but also with Israel and Israelis.
And you know, Becky, from New York, there are so many Jewish-based organizations, charity groups that do amazing work throughout the year. I know that we cover it on the news many times, and often I'm asked to go to these different events as an MC or to be a guest. And when I see the work that's done to help the community, to help people everywhere in New York City and around the world, it's just fantastic.
I've emceed some of those as well, so I know exactly what you're talking about. With us right now, we have the Kushner Academy, the Joseph Kushner Hebrew Academy from Livingston, New Jersey.
Yep, they're celebrating. This is 50 years for them. It's just a cycle. A great cycle completed, a new phase has begun, so congratulations to the Kushner Academy. Privileged to be part of this parade today, and this is part of the 5 books of the Torah that tell the story of the Jewish people.
Yeah, so what they're saying is they're bringing just as the 5 books tell the story of the Torah, the past 5 decades of the parades tell the story of that very special commitment and dedication and devotion to the land and the people of the modern day Israel, of Medinat Israel, as we're seeing they call it repeatedly.
I like speaking the language. You've been teaching me things like
You're very good. I think
Hag Shemea. Did I say it right?
Greek, yes, your Greek background just makes you a natural.
I get the L'chaim. I got that.
Yeah. The food is also very similar.
Very similar. In many ways
Mediterranean.
And when you're also talking about, you know, the family values are very similar. What we try and teach in our home is the same thing. Education is really important. That's promoted to make sure that you get a good education and you pick a good career, something that you are really happy with. But I think family, home, children, and respect for the elders, I think, is very important. Understanding what your grandparents are giving you, where they came from, their history and stories.
Especially when you talk about the history, we had Dr. Ruth here. When you talk about, you know, the stories and the history, you know, being in Nazi Germany, being a sniper, I mean, those are the kinds of things that her grandchildren, you know, can cherish and learn and need to remember within their own life what it was like just a few generations ago for their grandmother.
And when you hear her speak, her spirit and her enthusiasm,
she's amazing,
and her commitment, she really is, and she's
we should
she's
all
tireless.
We should all wish to be that way at her age.
I know. I have never seen her. I mean, you know, she's a human being. I've never seen her down. Every time I've talked to her, she's been upbeat. She's been very positive.
Yes.
She just has this real approach to life.
She is a huge ball of energy.
Yes,
you know?
yes, she is. And she likes to share that energy, and it's contagious.
It is.
Because when you listen to someone speak that way, you know, she just has that great feeling. Hi, kids, how are you? Hey, we're all waving here to you. They look so good. This is the, we have to talk about the, some of the yeshivas. This is a bicultural day school from Stamford, Connecticut that we wanted to look at. This is a great group. They express, you know, their great spirit of what they're teaching, and they are knowing that that they're part of a parade that is celebrating this today in the city of New York. When you look down there and you see the sea of blue and white, it tells the story. It tells the story.
To me, it's totally beautiful. I mean, all I'm seeing is the Israeli flag.
Yep.
I'm happy.
And Robert Moses is right there. We can see him as well.
He's with the Grand Marshal.
Let's send it back to you one more time with the Grand Marshal. No, he's with Russ K.
Ernie and Becky, good to see you. What a day for a parade. And I'm here with the Executive Vice President and CEO of UJA Federation of New York, Mr. John Ruske. John, this is our third year getting to speak here along the parade route, and it's awesome to see you as always. Tell the audience a little bit about what UJA Federation of New York does and what its role is in this community.
Well, UJA Federation is actually the largest community-based philanthropy in the world, in the Jewish community beyond. It raises almost $200 million a year, but most important, it's what it makes possible out there. We support a network of agencies that care for the elderly, the poor, the hungry. It provides Jewish education and builds community and secures the state of Israel. And our agencies are involved both in New York, every part of New York, in 70 counties. We responded to the hurricane in powerful ways. 4 of the 7 New York City hurricane recovery centers were Federation agencies. And whether it's a tragedy here, the economic crisis, or war in Israel and trauma in Israel, UJA Federation is there.
We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the parade today, and the theme in that vein is 50 Reasons to Celebrate Israel. Give me a couple of the reasons why you celebrate this great country.
First of all, we're in year 67, miraculous return of the Jewish people to our homeland, the revival of Hebrew language, Jewish culture, a high-tech economy that is second to none, a political democracy in a very rough neighborhood. It's a little boisterous at times, but a unique political democracy. So Israel faces many challenges, but to experience the miracle of Israel in 67, that's what this is about. Celebrating the diversity of Israel, the arts, culture, education, the political democracy. That's what brings the diversity of New York together.
You have been the CEO of UJA Federation for 15 years, and you told me that at the end of this month you are done with that. What do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want people to know about UJA Federation as you leave your post?
I think we've been able to demonstrate, and if you read some of the media in the 1990s, they thought we were going to become small and weak. We've continued to grow, respond to opportunity and challenge. What we have done, take the 2008 crisis when we established 7 multi-service centers in every part of New York, bringing together vocational training, pro bono legal, emergency loans, and it led people to say, only a federation could do that. So we've demonstrated the unique role of a federation in building community, mobilizing the Jewish community. That's what this parade is about. Mobilizing the community to stand with Israel as it resists violence and in the pursuit of peace. It's been a privilege.
Well, great work, my friend, and I hope that even though this may be our last interview, I hope that you'll come back and say hello next year. Can we make that a deal?
I was here as a teenager. I'll be back next year. Nice to see you.
John, always good to see you. Ernie and Becky, back upstairs.
Thank you, Robert. And that, of course, was not the Grand Marshal of the Parade. He's the honorary Grand Marshal of the Parade. Right. That was John Ruske, the head of the UJA.
And he deserves that honor as well.
Of course,
a great guy, by the way. I was with him recently in another function at the FEGS in New York, and you know, he just stands out. The kind of work that he does, the contributions that he makes every year to this city are just amazing. So we're very proud and happy to have him with us today, John Ruske.
And as I said, he's head of the UJA, and as we can see the UJA float right now, for 66 years, they've been standing together with the people of Israel to build a stronger Israeli society, and they try to make lives better for thousands of Israeli poor kids and families, and help young Jews experience the wonder of Israel. Their float, the music that is featured on their float, Ernie, is Howard Lashaw klezmer and Yiddish soul. We mentioned Yiddish earlier,
Yes, we
so
did.
don't ask me to translate. I'm not going to know a word that they're saying. Basically, instead of trying to recreate that kind of nostalgic sound of the old klezmer music, they try to master how klezmer from yesteryears might sound as if they're playing live today.
What do you remember most, Becky, growing up in a Jewish home, and what you were taught about your homeland? The earliest feelings that you had that a lot of these young people are listening
you
to
know
probably
what?
the same today.
When I was a kid, I was born in Israel, and I
Yes.
moved here when I was 2 years old. So a lot like a lot of these kids, I went to a Hebrew school at a synagogue, and I didn't speak the language because.
Yes, go ahead.
So I can relate to a lot of these kids that are, marching with their schools. And back then, to me, Israel was the place for Jewish people to live. And of course, then we moved there, and, all of a sudden.
And that was a different experience.
It was a totally different experience, whether it was learning the language or, the music after I could, learn the language and stuff. But it was also a bit different because, like I said earlier, you go from being in a public school with diversity to just being around shoes. But let's listen to the music.
Yeah. Love that clarinet.
Which is, of course, typical of the klezmer music.
Yes. You hear that clarinet, the first thing you think about is Hava Nagila. Because remember that movie, The Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
And there's a great scene, and it starts with the clarinet.
You know what? Ali Reisman, who won the gold medal for the USA in gymnastics, she danced, her whole routine that she got the gold medal was to Hava Nagila.
And the dance, it is just so great. When you watch people doing the horror, they go out there and they, hi guys, and they hold hands and they just have such a wonderful, charming feeling.
Yes.
When you're all together like that.
Yeah, you know what? Right before we go to commercial, Maccabi Tel Aviv, when they won the European Cup for the first time back in the 70s, the crowd ran in and they started dancing hora on the courts. So that's a celebration dance.
That says it all.
And it's great to have it here with us, but we have to go out to a commercial.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you. Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA. Let us tie it all together with you.
The 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade is produced by the Jewish Community Relations Council. For more information, visit jcrcny.org. The parade is sponsored by UJA Federation of New York, the State of Israel, the Jewish Communal Fund, and supported by Bank Leumi USA, Israel Bonds, and the Israeli American Council. Shalom. Shalom, and we are back. Oh, yes, this is a wonderful time that we're having today. Fusion Corps is what we're listening to right now. All-age, not-for-profit, competitive drum and bugle corps based out of Morris County, New Jersey. And Becky, don't they sound great?
They do. I mean, I'm loving the music here. It just makes it such a happy event, such a happy day. with the weather and everything.
Yeah, we had a lot of guests here. Governor Cuomo was on board. We had Senator Chuck Schumer, Congressman Charlie Rangel. Rob Astorino was here, Westchester County Executive, Mayor de Blasio. Just a terrific group of people. This is the 50th anniversary of a wonderful event, a day to truly appreciate the culture, the history, and great traditions of Israel. And we've got about 250 proud marching bands like the one we just listened to, 30 beautifully decorated floats, bands from all over the area, and thousands of well-wishers along the parade route. And it is just a perfect day for the parade. As we saw so many times on the wide shots, you can see the people just comfortably sitting by. They don't even have to worry about wearing a sweater. It's just a nice...
Yeah, they might have to worry about sunscreen.
Well, yeah, a little bit of that protection is important, even in the wintertime. But the bands are playing, and people are smiling, and we're celebrating a great day. Becky, this has to bring back a lot of good memories, too, in so many ways, because you've been part of a number of parades celebrating Israel, and not only visiting and being there, but also hosting the parades. This is...
I know, it's been great. It's been great to take... I mean, I think it's a true honor to be able to be here and take part and not, you know, just march through the parade or just be here as a guest, but also, like, take part in the broadcast for the 4th year in a row and just, you know, host my country's celebrations,
nice.
So to say.
You know, we've talked about so much of the beautiful music that we've been listening to today. Soul Farm has been, like you said, one of the basics.
Yes, they are.
And they're performing. We're going to listen to it right now.
Let's do it.
Let's go to Soul Farm.
Salvation work is stand still amongst the sea. Salvation work for I'm the Lord thy God. Oh, take your shoes off, Moses, your holy ground. Holy ground, yeah, holy ground. Take your shoes off, Moses, you're on holy ground. For I'm the Lord thy God. Hey!
Westchester is very well represented here today. The
Yeah, they have
Westchester Day School.
Huge cluster here, but what I'm seeing is I'm getting hungry because I'm seeing all the signs in this cluster. And as they get closer and closer to us, I can see Bamba, I can see Beastly.
You can see it there.
All these are
yeah.
like famous. There's bazooka in Hebrew. That's what they have on their shirts. You see the bazooka gum in Hebrew.
I do.
They have Israeli chocolate. They have sunflower seeds, which is what we do at you go to a basketball game, a football game, whatever, everybody's cracking sunflower seeds. That's an Israeli sport,
very healthy
sort of
too.
thing. Yes.
Very healthy for it. Westchester Day School, we thank you. And the Solomon Schechter Day School of Westchester is also part of this group.
They what they're celebrating is the 50 favorite foods of Israel. So that's why they have all these signs that are making me hungry and think about home. Well, including pictures.
We could use some right now.
Including pictures from the
Machane
Yehuda market.
Yeah, we also have the Bank Leumi USA.
Bank Leumi,
that's
yes.
Leumi, and we're very proud to have them on board.
They are featuring the music of Chen Aharoni. Chen is another former winner of Kohav Nolad, Israeli Idol. He also hosted a show. He was a co-host of a show with a bunch of other young Israeli singers and such, and I was actually on that show a few years ago, so I've met Chen before. If I'm not mistaken, Chen has also tried to get on The Voice UK or something.
Oh, really?
Something similar.
You've got a lot of experience here. You're a VJ. I mean, you know all of this.
Music, yeah. And sports, I guess.
And
I come from
too.
a sports background, not
Right.
just my dad, you know, and the whole Maccabi winning the championship stuff.
All right, we also want to go back to Robert Moses, always with a special guest. Hi there, how are you? Let's go back to you, Robert.
Ernie and Becky, I'm actually with two special guests right now, Mason Salet and Avner Mendelson with Bank Leumi. Guys, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes. 2 guests for the price of 1. This is awesome. Mason, I want to start with you. What's this parade been like for you guys so far?
Oh, it's so energizing. We're so proud to be one of the main sponsors here and to be involved celebrating Israel's 66th anniversary and birthday. And you know, to be in an Israeli bank in this environment is spectacular. We get to leverage what we're doing here, but really leverage what we have in Israel.
And what meaning does this parade have specifically to Bank Leumi? What meaning does this parade have to you guys as a bank?
Listen, Robert, Bank Leumi was actually founded 112 years ago based on the vision of Theodore Herzl. And ever since, the bank has served as the vehicle for the Zionist movement. We actually, when the state just started its first steps in 1948, we served as a central bank for the country. We started printing the first currency notes for the country and served as the monetary policy center for the bank, for the state, in the first days of the country. And obviously, since then, much has evolved, but we've stayed as a key player and a key driver of the economic and business development of the state of Israel, and we're proud to be doing that.
I can't ignore the third guest here. She's the best looking of all of us. Who's this?
She's my chairman. Her name is Ellie. She's also my daughter.
The true boss, right? True boss. Hey, tell me what sets Bank Leumi apart from some of the other banks here in the U.S. What makes you guys different?
Well, as you know, there are thousands of banks here in the U.S. It's a very competitive marketplace. I would say that, you know, aside from the fact that we see ourselves as a bridge for both Israeli investors, whether individuals or corporations wanting to do business in the U.S., we're also a bridge for U.S. investors wanting to get exposure to Israel. We're their natural choice. Apart from that, first and foremost, we're a domestic U.S. bank. We're a boutique, relationship-driven, commercial and private bank. And what sets us apart, I think, and what I hear a lot from our clients, is the fact that we're able to provide both a boutique, relationship-driven approach, very tailored for their needs, together with the fact that we can bring the global outreach of a global financial institution. So I think that's our uniqueness.
Guys, thank you so much. Ernie and Becky, back up to you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. You know, you talk about growth, growth that we hear from various organizations, growth of this parade. That's the thing that makes the difference, to see the expansion and the planning that goes into it to make it bigger and better, and that's what they're doing.
Ernie, look at those amazing costumes that the Barinia dancers are wearing as they, I'd like to say march, but they're not really marching down Fifth Avenue, are they?
No, they were established, from what I understand, back in 1991. This is a premier Russian folk ensemble, very good outside of Russia, and what a background they have. They're colorful, and they're just lively.
You know, Ernie, there's a huge former Russian Jewish community in New York, and I have some of my friends, that's their background. I was speaking to them yesterday as I was going over all of the information that we have for today, and I learned that Barinia is not just the type of dance that this group does, but it's also like a baroness, a very important lady, and part of their dance is probably part of their those costumes that we were seeing as they were marching down.
They have quite a troupe there. They have been rehearsing and practicing for some time. They've got accordion players. They have quite a mix of instruments and different types of style.
Very eclectic.
Very much so. Very much so.
And now we have another float. We have the University of Ariel, which is a pretty relatively new university in Israel. It's also one of the fastest growing research university with 15,000 students representing the whole entire spectrum of the Israeli society. We have Christians, Jews, Muslims, Arabs, and of course everybody is free to go to school.
They're part of this great lineup today. We also wanted to mention sometimes there are some floats that'll pass us during a commercial break or during an interview, and we wanted to mention the Marlboro Jewish Center from Marlboro, New Jersey. About 650 family members. Family of...
Kehillah.
Yes.
Kehillah is community in Hebrew.
I like that. And this is what they look for. What is golden about Israel? And selected Jerusalem of gold for their main focus, and we've heard that today.
Yes, which we saw before. It's also a very famous Hebrew song.
Okay, Robert is standing by once again. Hey, Robert. The weather's holding up beautifully today. Couldn't ask for anything better, and I'm sure all your guests are pleased to be standing with you and talking to you on a great day to celebrate Israel.
Oh yeah, Ernie and Becky, last I checked, the temperature was up to 72 degrees. It is just perfect. You never quite know what you're going to get on June 1st, if it's going to be really hot or not quite warm enough, but man, today we just hit it perfectly. And I'm joined by two special guests, well actually three, including Daniel down there, Gabi Gonen and Ariel Tirosh with the Israeli-American Council. Guys, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. First of all, Ariel, I want to start with you. Talk about what the Israeli-American Council is. What do you guys do?
It's an Israeli-American organization that intends to create a giving, involved community here. We got three major objectives. One of them is to basically ensure the Jewish and Israeli identity of our future generations. Another main objective is support and strengthen the state of Israel. And the third one is to build a bridge to American Jews community, kind of unite the communities. We started about 7 years ago in LA, and now we have 6 branches throughout the states, Miami, Boston, New York, New Jersey, Las Vegas, and naturally LA, which is the mothership.
So like the parade itself, the IAC has really grown. Gabi, what sets you guys apart from other similar organizations? What makes you different?
Of the many layers the ISC have, and it has many, one thing that we're very proud of is to make sure we're not competing with other organizations. What we do is we enable, enhance, and actually support many existing organizations, let them execute their agenda, as long as it, of course, in line with the ISC mission statement that Ariel mentioned. And this is through the grant committee that we have. We have grants available to support organizations. The secondary and the main thing we do is we have local events, local program, and of course on a national level, national programs.
And lastly, both you guys, I want you to address this. Talk about your involvement with the Celebrate Israel Parade. This year, obviously, it's a special year, the 50th anniversary of the parade, and the theme is 50 Reasons to Celebrate Israel. Talk about your involvement and maybe some of the reasons why you celebrate Israel.
Well, first of all, this is one of our major objectives, support Israel. And Israel is a thriving country, but it's small, got many challenges. So we're here today to make our voice heard, and hopefully it's going to be heard all the way to the other side of the globe.
Guys, thank you so much. Ernie and Becky, back upstairs to you.
Thank you very much, Robert. We appreciate that. And what we're looking at right now, what we call the Cadets 2 from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I love the outfits today, the costumes are just amazing.
Yeah.
So colorful, so unique. I wonder how hot it is in those suits, though.
Probably a little warm, but there's a little bit of a breeze. You can feel that. This is quite a group. They're from New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, the Drum and Corps Associate Circuit.
They're also relatively new. I mean, they were only founded in 2012.
Right, and their music is, there it is, right in line. Hava Nagila, right?
Hava Nagila, yeah.
You know, Becky, you know so much about Israel. You've traveled there, you've lived there. Someone wants to make a trip. Someone's going to go there and go for the very first time. Give me the highlights. What should they look for? What should they look for?
Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv,
yeah,
Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv. It's all about Tel Aviv. Huh?
I mean, yeah, seriously. I mean, of course, Jerusalem is the obvious because that is where the holy sites are. Because that's, of course, where, the holy sites are for all the different religions. Even if you're not Jewish, that would be a place to go. But Tel Aviv is always ranked one of the top cities in the world to visit. And it's, you know what? Take New York, make it smaller, add a beach, that's Tel Aviv.
You made it worth the trip just by describing it for us.
And
Let's talk about this.
We have now the SpaceIL float. They are very, this is a very special float. We were talking the whole broadcast about the Israeli innovation. Well, this is a nonprofit organization, an Israeli nonprofit organization. And what they're doing, Ernie, is they're working to land the very first Israeli spacecraft on the moon. In New York, they are debuting their prototype moon spacecraft and celebrating the anniversary of the 50th parade with us. And they brought with them crazy dance music for the, I guess that's their futuristic music.
This is going to spark a lot of innovation.
Let's hear more about that. Robert, who you have with us? for
Becky
us.
and Ernie, I have a special guest, Fir Damari, the co-founder of SpaceIL. Mr. Damari, thanks so much for taking a couple minutes. Tell me about SpaceIL and what you guys do.
SpaceIL is a non-profit organization working to land the first Israeli spacecraft on the moon. We're part of an international competition called Google Lunar XPRIZE, and our job is not just to land, but also to inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers.
Wow, so you guys are looking at space, but let's come back to terra firma right here on the ground. Tell me about this parade and your involvement in it.
So basically, beside actually building a spacecraft that is going to land, as I said, our job is to inspire the next generation. We've met more than 5,000 kids from all around the New York area just now. We're working on nationwide programs, both in Israel here, and we just launched a campaign so everyone can join in Indiegogo, our mission. We have moon balls for everyone, and want everyone to come together.
So how far along is that project to try to get a spacecraft to the moon? When can we look for that?
So we started 3 years ago. We have two more years to work, but we got to a stage of full-scale development. We're actually building the spacecraft, and now we want to just build a movement around it and finish building it, launching to the moon, and making sure that this will be a huge moment in history.
I don't know if people appreciate the number of innovations that are coming from Israel, but that's a theme that we talk about every year, the parade. This is my third year, and every year I'm always amazed at the science and innovation that originates in Israel. Can you discuss that, and why is Israel such a center of innovation?
I think, it's a center of innovation in all different ways, both in space. People don't know it, but Israel builds the smallest and lightest satellite from all around the world. I think, we are a small country. We don't have many people. We have our brain, and we have to use that to get the best outcomes that we can.
Well, we are looking for Fir Damari with SpaceIL. Thanks for taking a couple minutes, and best of luck to the moon and back, right?
Thank you. We hope everyone will join us on Indiegogo and buy their tickets to the moon.
Hey, thank you very much. Back to you guys upstairs.
Very nice. SpaceIL, by the way, if someone wants to participate.
I love how he says we have a brain. You know what I mean? Like, we have a brain, we're going to use it.
We're going to use it, and they are using it. If you want to participate, by the way, wanted to mention this website, Space, it's SpaceIL.com, okay? Great work.
Okay, I will make sure to check it out.
Grover's agreeing. Do you want to go to the moon too?
Oh, I would love to do that. Yes, yes, I would. Are we going after this parade?
Grover.
Yes.
You know what? You're here today, but you were in Israel not too long ago.
I was.
I know. And
yes.
You
yes,
also
with my friend Annelies van der Pol.
Right.
And I met all sorts of new friends on a place called Rachov Sumsum.
So why don't we take a look at your trip to Israel? What do you say?
Sure. Do we have a clip?
Let's see.
Postcard from Grover.
Hello there, it is I, your furry pal Grover, ready to take you on an adventure in the land of Israel. Come on! This is Jerusalem, one of the oldest cities in the world. It is high up on a hill and surrounded by mountains. There are many interesting buildings here. Some old, some new. Wow. Looks like he is getting his exercise. Jerusalem is a very special place to many people.
Grover?
Yes, we're back from the clip.
Does that bring back a lot of memories for you?
Oh, yes. As I said, I met so many wonderful new friends there. Lots of people, but also Moshe Uvnik and Abigail and Brosh on Rachov Sumsum.
I know Moshe Uvnik.
Yeah, you know
he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
What, did you learn any Hebrew while you were there?
I learned a few words. Yeah, sure. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, which means hello or peace. And wow, these flowers they keep growing. They keep growing and growing. They are overtaking me. No, but also, mitzvah, which is an act of kindness, and boker tov.
Boker tov is good morning.
Yeah.
But now we'd say tzoraim tovim, and before I bid you farewell with the tzoraim tovim,
yes.
Grover,
I just want to say, if anybody wants to catch more of Grover, just go to the shalomsesame.org. Is that right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Grover, thanks so much.
Oh, bye-bye.
Come back again, okay? Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay. Oh, Grover's great. I love that little tour. That's beautiful. You know, just a great ambassador to travel to Israel.
It's almost as if he went on a birthright trip himself.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the parade continues, and we're celebrating Yeshiva Noam. And look at all these young kids waving their flags, smiling, jumping up and down with great enthusiasm. Aren't they happy?
They are.
Yeah, they're from Brooklyn. This is a great group. They stand together in solidarity. Brothers and sisters living in Israel, and they are from Brooklyn, New York.
And we can see now the Nefesh B'Nefesh float. It's a float from the Aliyah organization. As I was telling you earlier, Ernie, Aliyah means moving to Israel.
Right.
So Nefesh B'Nefesh and their representatives are followed by some proud marchers who are attending their last Celebrate parade as residents of the USA because they are moving to Israel. So they won't be able to be here with us. They're flying on a NBN charter flight in July, and they will be joining thousands of Americans that are making Aliyah to Israel this very summer. And so they're kind of they're coming to celebrate their final parade with us before they move to Israel. Their journey is going to they will be joining 38,000 other North American and British Jews who made Aliyah over the past decades.
And look at this. One of the young people stopped by and gave us one of these.
Ooh, now we have flags and pom-poms.
Yes, we do. Hey, Robert, we're going back to you, and this time you do have the Grand Marshal. Hey, here you go.
Hey, Ernie and Becky, I do. What an honor to have Robert Ben Ramon here with me, the Grand Marshal of this very fine parade. He's also the founder of Skyframe and Design. Mr. Ben Ramon, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes. You spent some of your youth in Israel. What makes Israel such a special place?
Israel is the true democratic country in the world, in the entire region there. I can just imagine with all of what's going on in Europe with the anti-Semitism, what the French Jews, for example, are going to do, where they're going to go. Thank God for Israel today. They had their home and a place. It's not like 60 years ago. Growing up in Israel is such a special country. You have people from all over the world, and it's true friends with the United States.
And what an honor for you being the Grand Marshal. What did that mean, walking up Fifth Avenue wearing that sash?
Well, we say in life, you have 30 seconds of fame. This is my 30 seconds of fame.
We're giving you 2 minutes.
I know, 2 minutes, but really, really, it's such an honor. It's like almost getting married, have a bar mitzvah. And especially, I'm showing the future generation. It's very important to support Israel. Israel is a very important state for the Jews all over the world.
And just briefly, what are you holding in your left hand there?
I'm holding the pomegranate, which is my last name, Ben Ramon, is pomegranate. I'm a son of pomegranate.
Wow. Thank you for taking the time, and what an honor. Thanks for stopping by. Becky and Ernie, back to you.
Yes, what a nice interview. Thank you so much for that. You know, we had a little action going on here today, and people are choosing their favorites.
We've been having polls with favorites. Favorite Israeli whatever. Favorite Israeli food.
Yep.
Favorite Israeli
Actors,
actress.
yes.
Favorite place to travel when you go to Israel.
So we have some results, do we not?
We do. We have results from the Ask 'em app. So the first question was, what is your favorite Israeli food? Schnitzel, falafel, shawarma. As we can see, 17% chose shawarma. Oh, sorry, 17 chose hummus and 17 chose shawarma and 35 chose
So hummus is our winner with 35%.
That makes me such a bad Israeli. I don't like hummus.
Oh, you don't.
I don't eat
you
it.
say hummus.
Yeah, I say hummus.
Oh, hummus, that's right. No, hummus could be good. I had some of the schnitzel earlier.
Schnitzel's good.
And it was very good. It was very tasty. So that was the contest. So 35%.
I almost fell off my chair here just talking
now, okay?
about being a bad Israeli who doesn't like hummus.
All right, now look. Now here we have something else here. We have something, you know, it's very difficult sometimes. We've got some music in the background and people are talking to us, and we want to make sure that we tell you about App My Day. This is an Israeli mobile app that allows users to post and share photos in one shared space while they're attending this event. Now, this was intended originally, as you can understand, for weddings, and all of the guests could take photos and they could just share them in a big photo album. So here today, thousands of attendees, marchers, creating one giant photo album of the pictures of the parade. I think we had some of those photos up. You want to put them back up there because this is really good. This is from App My Day, a nice thing. Okay, here we go. Look at these. These are from today. Nice. There you go. Thank you very much for all participating on this great time for all of us out here with these smiling. Hey, how are you guys? You know, it's just nice to look out, and they will come by here, and they want to be on television. I know you want to be on TV, right? I know you would.
They want to be on TV.
Of
They
course
want to
they do.
wave. They want you to say hi to them.
Yeah, hi. Take some pictures too. Boy, this is really personal. I think we're part of the parade by being so close to it.
We kinda
I feel
are.
like I could just go out there and march with them.
I almost fell off my
Hi,
chair,
everybody.
so I almost joined them anyway.
Hey there. It's kind of a moment right now where the floats have stopped and they're getting ready to start up one more time. And we've had so many floats here today. We mentioned some of these that we wanted to bring out, because sometimes we don't have the opportunity. We're in the
show
middle of an
everybody,
interview.
yeah.
The East Midwood Hebrew Day School from Brooklyn. We want to thank them for being a part of this today. The United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism and United Synagogue Youth. They march every year, representatives from all over the East Coast.
We also have the Solomon Schechter School of Queens and the Schechter School of Long Island. Both they're both private Jewish schools, as we mentioned before. And they have been celebrating the 50 Reasons to Celebrate Israel, just like all the other marching groups here.
And we also wanted to talk about the Shulamit School for Girls.
Shulamit.
Shulamit.
That's a name for a name for a woman in Hebrew.
Shulamit.
Shulamit.
She's from
Ditch the H at the end.
Shulamit.
Yes.
I've got it now. You're teaching me well. These are from Cedarhurst, Long Island. Over 500 students from preschool through grade 8. Thank you for being here. The Jewish Foundation School from Staten Island, part of this 50 Parades for Peace. Yeah, you know, they come along and they drop off their cards too here, Becky.
Ooh, what'd you get?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like sometimes I'm not really sure. Someone will hand me a card. They probably want us to mention this on the air. But, you know, we've been collecting cards all day, so maybe we can answer some of those later on.
Pom-poms.
The only thing we haven't collected yet is some food. We need some additional food here. We're starting to get a... What about sweets?
We should get the falafel
Okay, delicate.
back.
Well, you know, I happen to like kugel. I love kugel. That's one of my favorites. It's really the best. Anyway, we have had a terrific
I'd go for the
day.
baklawa.
You know what? This has been a terrific time on My 9, and we're going to continue
On the web for another hour.
Robert, are you there joining us for a moment to say goodbye?
I am, and I would ask that you guys save me some of those sweets or whatever you have left up there, because I am hungry. Great job, you guys up there, Ernie and Becky. And I tell you what, for the third year in a row, it's been an honor for me to be along the parade route. They asked me to do this last year. The parade ended at about 3:02. They asked me to do it again. I said yes. It's always a blast. Back to you.
Thank you, Robert. We've had such a great time. Thank you all very much. I'm Ernie Anastas.
I'm Becky Griffin.
And we thank you for joining us. What a great celebration on My 9. See you again next year. Shalom.
And come watch us on the web.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Let me fall into your arms at the end of the day and get lost on your ancient pathways. A moment of quiet when I'm on my knees. Oh, in a burning sun, let me find some peace. Yeah, I know what this is worth and how much it means to you. Oh, I know how hard it is to make a dream come true. Oh, 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 oh. Walk with me, you'll never walk alone. Oh, oh, oh.
thousands of families celebrating this special event in New York City, the annual Celebrate Israel Parade. Beautiful floats. I'm Ernie Anastas.
And I'm Becky
I could
Griffin.
change my name for today. What could I be? Anastine?
Well, would I have to change my name too?
Well, no, you have to give me a Jewish name now.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't have a Jewish name.
Well, I guess we could kind of just...
Israel accepts everybody,
Okay,
Ernie.
I like
you
that.
keep your last name.
Okay, that's okay. It's how you feel, right?
Yes.
It's the pride that you have. Well, we are celebrating. And
we're celebrating here with 35,000 marchers on Fifth Avenue and many more on the sidelines and in the stands watching all these groups coming together to celebrate Israel, to celebrate the innovation. They have 50 reasons and many more to celebrate Israel and its accomplishments.
you have to wonder about some of the people who are watching us now, because we're on the World Wide Web, and you can say who's out there, who's watching us. You can send us a message, you can tweet, you can send us an email, you can get to us in
from
some
previous
form.
years, I know there are many people watching on the web who can't see it, who couldn't see the 2 hours before on the broadcast. They're in Florida, in South Carolina, or my friends back home in Israel. You better be
Are they watching us now? You want to mention some names?
אני מאוד מקווה שאתם צופים. I just told them in Hebrew, you better be watching.
You better be watching.
But they have been tweeting me and sending me private messages that they laughed about this.
Well, what have they been saying? Okay, share that.
They love your
with us.
Hebrew.
They do?
Yes,
I've been trying. I've been trying, okay?
You've been getting shout-outs from my friends about your Hebrew.
Oh, that's great. You know, it's so wonderful that we have the ability now to share a lot of this with the world. When we didn't have that chance, you know, prior to the web.
Prior to Israelis
Right.
inventing instant messaging.
See, and we heard a lot about that
camera
today.
phones and voicemail and so many other things that if they had it invented, we wouldn't be able to share this with so many people.
And we're
we wouldn't be
celebrating
able
that
to,
today.
you know, tweet out pictures while we're here and everything like that. So in a way, you know, we all have to celebrate Israel every single day for the amazing technology that, you know, is changing our world and is making our lives easier.
When people are watching us, like right now at this moment, and they're watching this parade, a beautiful parade, the largest here in New York City for the Israeli parades. And what do you think they're thinking? What's going through their minds now and saying, wow, look at all these people, especially all the young faces that we've been talking about. They missed part of our broadcast, of course. But what do you think that they're sharing now with their families as they're watching this?
Well, I think a lot of them are probably very happy and very proud to see this whole celebration. I mean, when you take New York City and Fifth Avenue and parades, you know, this is a city and a state that has so many different cultures, so many different parades. And, you know, to be a part of that and, you know, to be on television as well for the 4th time in a row, I'm sure people are very proud to be a part, even if they're just watching at home, they still feel a part of the kehillah, the community.
Kehillah.
Yes, the kehillah of the, you know, the community of the Jews in America,
Yes.
with the Israelis back home. We heard a few Israelis throughout the broadcast talking to Robert about, you know, how they're bringing the communities together. So I would say probably proud.
I'm sure of that. And, you know, we know, I mean, following the news every day, there are many difficulties and struggles that they're facing as a country. And, you know,
I can tell you, Ernie, as Israelis,
yes.
without going into the conflict and all those things, we like to party. We like to
Good.
celebrate. We like to balance all those other things that, you know, are not the funnest things in the world.
Yes.
We balance them with everything else.
Well, you know, we kind of know that every day when we're reporting news, there is so much negativity and there is so much that we have to report. And I, you know, defend the right to freedom of speech and to be able to deal with issues and to talk about them on the air and to try to find solutions. But I think that's what people are looking for today. How can we find a solution to whatever the problem happens to be, a more positive spin on a lot of stories that can help us to understand one another and to also feel better, because that's a real issue in life today, particularly, and I go back to a lot of our young kids, you know, who are inundated with all of this and have a different perspective, a different view
Exactly.
of the world
That's
at that age.
That's what I was going to say, that I think when it comes to a lot of the younger people, or I don't think they they share those same views as maybe on your news broadcast with politicians and leaders and people with agendas. When it comes to younger people, or it comes to the average Israeli, they would rather celebrate the culture like this parade.
Yes.
They would rather celebrate the innovation. They would rather, you know, have fun and not, because when it's part of your reality, you just, you know, it's kind of normal to you anyway. It's not something that you necessarily talk about. Do all Israelis want peace? Yes. Unfortunately, the people don't really decide. In any situation, they don't have the power to just decide by themselves. So what they can do is they can bring together other people via nonprofit organizations and do their own initiatives to reach out to, say, Arab Israelis or Palestinians, whether it's the Paris Peace Shalom Center or other things that they do with food and music and sports, and combine, you know, the different cultures within Israel, and focus on that, and focus on how we can do things together.
Exactly, it's a good direction.
How we
too.
are all the same, and not focus on the negative things.
Well, we are agreeing on that point, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to us are saying the same thing. You know, Becky, we should talk about some of the groups that have been marching here today, bands that are going by. Let's take out this this particular band. This is called the Raiders Drum and Bugle Corps. This group was founded back in 1990. They are based in New Jersey, nationally competitive marching arts group. They're great, and they also have a website. If you want to go to them, sometimes you might want to, you know, give them a comment or be a part of this organization. You can visit them at www.raidersdbc.org.
Ernie, I see that they combine their music expressions with athletic prowess. I wonder how they do that.
They probably are doing.
I mean,
some
here
type
they're
of a
marching,
combined,
so it's not as if we can see their athleticism.
Maybe we go to their website and find out.
Probably
Get
can.
really specific. But thank you very much, you Raiders Drum and Bugle Corps.
Ernie,
Okay.
have you ever been on a camel?
No, I have not been on a camel. I would like that.
Because here we
in
have
fact,
some for you.
I might leave the broadcast booth and just jump on. You think I
Maybe
could do
instead
that?
of a taxi.
I've been on an elephant, but not a...
Instead of a taxi, you can take a camel home. How about
Maybe that would be a great idea. Now, look, these are beautiful camels. Look at them. I'm going to have to turn around for just a moment and take a look at them. But
So
they
you
are
get
gorgeous.
a closer look?
Yeah. You know what? Have you ever ridden a camel? That's a better question for you. I thought you did.
And I have to say,
What was the experience
I did
like?
it for a TV thing, and it was kind of scary because, I mean, they're nice animals, but the way they kind of get up, they
have to
kind of
watch-
tilts back and forth.
You lose your
So
balance.
you may feel like you're falling down as the camel is getting up to start walking.
But is it a nice experience? Does it feel good once you're riding?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a very slow horse.
Okay. Hey, Robert Moses is back with us, of course, and he's got one of the founders of this parade. This should be very interesting. Robert, we'll send it back to you.
Hey, Ernie and Becky, good to see you again here with an honorary Grand Marshal. And yes, one of the guys who got this whole thing started, Ted Comet. Ted, what a day for this parade. And the parade started with some humble beginnings. Tell me how it all came about.
Well, it all came about in 1965. We used to have an annual Israel Independence Day event in Central Park. It was very modest. And I felt we should have something a larger scale. And then also something that would bring together the various elements of the community into some common undertaking. And secondly, we wanted the youth movements and the schools to be included, and that there would be a theme that they could study and prepare, so it wouldn't be just a one-shot experience, but something that is closer.
So besides getting bigger, how has this parade changed over the years?
Well, you have to understand the first was 5 blocks long, and my wife cried. She said it was like a baby being born. The second one was 15 blocks long, but what really made alter the landscape of the parade was the third one, which turned out to be on the Sunday before the outbreak of the Six-Day War, and the community was very frightened at that time. And we changed it from a parade into a demonstration of solidarity, and we had 250,000 people who came and who marched. And just as a humorous anecdote, I had the wonderful comedian Victor Bourget, and he said, this is Sunday now we're talking about, and he asked me, how long should I prepare? I said, well, based on the previous year, 2 hours. Well, it takes a long time for 250,000 people to pass by. So 2 hours, 3 hours, 4. Then he said, look, Ted, I don't want to be rude, but my wife is expecting me for dinner Thursday evening.
Well, I tell you what, besides this being the 50th anniversary of the parade, I did a little research. Is that right that you turned 90 this week? Could that be possible?
That's Friday, I turned 90.
You don't look 90 at all. Wow.
The trick to being youthful is to never think of yourself as a finished product, but always as a work in progress. So you maintain the sense of awe and wonder, which is really the underpinning of youthfulness.
Boy, that's great. And I tell you what, we're never a finished product, and I think it's safe to say this parade is never a finished product either. It just gets better, bigger and better each year. Ted Kama, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and I'm glad you're helping give the parade more visibility.
Thank you so much. Ernie and Becky, back to you.
That is terrific. I personally appreciate Ted. Yeah, what a great comment. 90
Israel
years
in a
old.
way is too.
90 years young, actually, and here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take
a selfie.
Yeah, we're going to do that right now. I think if I turn it this way, I mean, everybody's doing this, right? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Good. We're gonna post this. We're gonna send this out. We're gonna tweet this, okay?
We should.
No, but going back to what Ted was saying, I think that's fabulous. A work in progress that you never really finished, and I think
You
that
can always
attitude.
get better.
Yeah, that's so important to have dreams. You know, you're never really old unless you have. If you continue to have dreams and aspirations
and goals,
desires
exactly.
to do things with your life, I think that's important.
That may be at the root of why Dr. Ruth is so spiritful and seems so young and in spirit. Because
right, because she always has something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Okay, we are jumping for joy. Okay, let's see what do we have here.
We have the Yeshiva of Flatbush.
Yeah.
Another.
Let's take a look at this. Find out a little bit more about them. There are so many different groups here. From Israel, we got so many friends of Israel Defense Forces. But I think we can find a little card on this.
50 blessings for the state of Israel in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Celebrate Israel Parade. And Ernie, their blessings include blessings for peace with its neighboring countries, which is, of course, extremely important for Israel, security, prosperity, and a good life for all of its citizens. And by the way, the yeshiva has a birthday of its own this week. They're celebrating 87 years this week. So Mazel Tov.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov is right. As they walk by us with smiling faces.
How do you say
Yaso. If you ask me, I was just asked. Yeah, if you want to say Mazel Tov, in Greek it's Yaso.
Yaso.
Which is the same thing.
Isn't that what
Yaso.
they always scream out when they're celebrating? Like,
Yeah.
Yasu!
Yasu! Mazel Tov! L'chaim! It's kind of the same thing, right?
I love it. You know, the cultures are very similar. They're very alive, full of energy, you know,
and
going crazy when you have to.
Right. And partying, as you said.
Yeah.
You said that's a great, and it's true. Hospitality is very important. I'm sure that you understand that coming from a Jewish home, from a Greek home. It's important to open up your doors, to bring in your family naturally
totally
and your
agree.
friends, to meet and share each other's
You know what?
feelings.
The last time I was in Greece, they took me to one of these traditional places, but they changed the plate throwing into flowers.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they started to do
noticed that?
away with the plate smashing
I guess
and
that was.
throwing.
I guess the plates was too dangerous
Right.
and probably too expensive.
Do you remember where you were in Greece? What part?
Yes, I was in Saloniki.
Oh, in Saloniki.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
It is.
I happen to be
Very
in
good
Greece.
basketball there.
Very good basketball.
And
I
there
know
and
you're
in Athens.
and in Athens
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, sports are very popular there. And
They're also very
soccer.
passionate. When I was there that week, the entire team had so much police at the game, like SWAT teams, and people were. It was. I'd never seen anything like it before
You know,
in European sports.
Zorba had the great line. He said, "When I'm happy, I dance. When I'm sad, I dance." And it's
I love
true,
that.
you know, because that really is, you know, no matter what you're going through, it's important to stop. Hi.
It's important
Love
to
those
stop
faces.
and say hello.
Right, that's
from
what
the
we're
kids,
doing right
from
now.
the yeshiva, from Flatbush.
Live the moment. you know, and celebrate with everyone, because I think that's so crucial to a happy life, is to enjoy the moment and not to worry too much about the
I love
past.
that, you know, celebrating the good and celebrating the bad.
Yeah, because
dancing
you know,
either way.
Yeah, I think that's the key to making sure that you have a little balance going on in your life, because it's easy to get down if you allow it, and you can get, you know, really turned off by a lot of things that are happening in life. But as we said before, it's looking for this positive side,
Yes.
celebrating like we are today, and remembering our family. I think it's also very important. I can relate again, Jewish home, Greek home, where you are listening to your grandparents, you're listening to your elders, and having them tell you stories that make you feel a little closer to your people, and understanding their struggles
They bring
and
the
their
history.
values. Yes.
They bring the history.
Yeah, they do.
You know what? I have something very similar in America, with my grandfather being a soldier in World War II for the Americans and a prisoner of war by the Nazis. That, in a way, you know, he tells me stories, and that connects me to American history and America's part in World War II. Where growing up in Israel, I was mainly used to hearing about the Holocaust and,
Sure.
you know, the Jewish side
Yes.
of that war. So, I mean, just hearing my grandfather's stories to me was, you know, just like you said, connecting to him and to the country. But let's go back to the kids who are connecting with Israel. And here we have another school. We have the Frisch School from Paramus, New Jersey. They are a modern Orthodox yeshiva high school with almost 600 students. And they have the very same theme that we've been seeing once again here in the parade, the Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Jerusalem of Gold.
We have a beautiful banner displaying a brightly colored landscape painting of Jerusalem, featuring some of her most notable political, cultural, and religious landmarks. And we are celebrating with them today from Paramus, New Jersey. So we talk about Torah Tots.
Let's talk about the Torah Tots,
There's
Ernie.
characters from the TorahTots.com, #1 website for Jewish children.
See, you're talking about the technology today. You can go online, you can download an app, and you can connect to your Jewish faith. You can learn Hebrew. Technology just makes it so easier to connect people. And in a way, I also think it doesn't give people an excuse to be ignorant.
Very true. And we have resources now that we didn't have in the past. One of the things that I recall, you know, we can have social history and our family history shared from our grandparents and our relatives.
Yes.
But one thing that we have a lot of photographs sometimes, but we don't have a lot of handwritten messages.
Diaries.
Yes, and I was reading something how important that is now, if you're able to do that, to be able to find a way to write those thoughts. Go to a grandfather, go to your grandmother, go to an uncle, and say,
Well, that's
try
what
and write some of this
Spielberg
for
was
me.
doing with the Shoah Foundation, you know, documenting all of the Holocaust survivors and their stories. Here we have Golda Och, I hope I said that right, Academy. It's from West Orange in New Jersey, and they are proudly presenting their strong connection to the land of Israel and the people. And their theme is Ahavat Israel Baneshama. The love of Israel is in our souls, would be the translation.
Yeah,
Here, you were talking about this earlier, Ernie. The love of Israel in this school is instilled at a very young age throughout each year, including a 9th grade Israel trip and a 12th grade semester trip. So if they're going to visit, if they're studying a whole semester in Israel, they are connecting to Israeli kids, they're seeing the culture, they're seeing the sights from a totally different point of view, which they would never have received if their school was just a regular public school and didn't have these kinds of programs.
That's a great idea. This is they call it a living bridge.
That's beautiful.
This is the way it really connects them in a very unique way, a very personal way. Great programs. So we salute the Golda Och Academy from West Orange, New Jersey. Thanks for being with us, folks. And you can wave to us too. Hey! Okay, we also want to tell you about the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey. Their surrounding communities are very proud to salute Israel and congratulate the parade on their golden anniversary. A lot of cluster groups here too,
yes.
Becky.
In this group we have the Diller Teen Fellows, we have the Hebrew Academy of Morris County,
We have the congregation Shomrei Emunah, Temple Shalom. We also have the congregation Bnei Israel, Temple Beth Shalom, and the congregation Agudat Israel. And last but not least, the Temple Bnei Or. All of these are one big cluster from the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West in New Jersey.
You know, and as you were reading all of these names and talking about these cluster groups, I'm looking at the names and I'm saying, do you realize, because I have some experience, how much work goes into just making sure that these congregations, these organizations stay together? The kind of effort that goes into making phone calls, to sending emails, to organizing meetings, to bringing people together, to keep this alive, to keep this active.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's something that is a major focus of the Jewish community outside of Israel. How do we maintain it? How do we keep the community, the kehillah? How do we continue to pass on the traditions, the Jewish traditions, the language, the culture from generation to generation when, you know, they're not living in a Jewish country. They're surrounded by so many other different things, and you're right. It does take a lot of work to maintain that and to get people to take part in their own community.
And I've talked to many people like yourself who you've lived in Israel, you're Israeli, who have said, I really applaud the people back in the United States who are doing all of this to keep it together. They really respect that because they know the effort that goes into it. Right. Okay, we're taking a commercial break, and we're going to come right back because we have a lot more to share with you from Fifth Avenue in New York. Keep it here.
No, it doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter with who. Oh, well, it doesn't even depend. Open up your eyes. Yeah, shut down your mind. Yeah, open up your hearts. Just leave it all behind. Who cares what door you're coming in from, as long as you're inside? Good luck, my friend. Goodbye.
The 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade is produced by the Jewish Community Relations Council. For more information, visit jcrcny.org. The parade is sponsored by UJA Federation of New York, the State of Israel, the Jewish Communal Fund, and supported by Bank Leumi USA, Israel Bonds, and the Israeli American Council.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you. Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA. Let us tie it all together with you.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade. Israel in all of us. Come find the Israel in you. That's a nice slogan.
It is.
And it's
Ernie,
working today.
This is one of my favorite songs. And the words say, together, heart to heart, open your mind, and we'll all be together.
Nice. It's got a great beat.
Beautiful song, yes.
I love it. You know, you can't help but get in the mood when you're listening to the music. You know,
cannot
and, yeah, you
dance
do.
and move around.
You just get ready to really get this thing rolling. But it's just a gorgeous day, and those of you who are joining us on the World Wide Web, welcome to our streaming broadcast.
Ernie, I just want to show you something. You took a selfie before.
Yes.
Well, somebody was walking by, took a picture of us with Dr. Ruth.
Oh, look.
Posted it on a social media thing.
Right.
And said, Dr. Ruth and Becky Griffin, my life is complete.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that nice? And that's instant. That's right there.
Yes, it is.
Send us whatever you want. We'll try to talk about it on the air. Yeah, this is just one of those great days that we can experience a beautiful day in New York. And as we talked about the culture, the traditions, and the values of the Israeli people.
And with us celebrating those very values of the Israeli people is Ashal, the Adolf Schreiber Hebrew Academy of Rockland. They're from New City, New York. And they're celebrating Israel with the parade, 50 years of celebration. Much more than a country to them, Israel is the heartbeat of the Jewish people and the unrivaled source of unity that draws together so many different and diverse Jewish hearts.
Okay. Shah from New York City. And this is something that we want to talk about. Dr. Felix Glaba. This is a float that's featuring Sandy
Shmueli. Yes.
I want to make sure that's why I'm looking at you, Sandy Shmueli.
Yes,
okay.
It's from Shmuel. Shmuel is Samuel in Hebrew.
Samuel, okay. Shmuel. The Glavak family proud to celebrate Israel's 66th birthday, 50th anniversary, of course, of this parade, and they are a family that supports many institutions in Israel, some of which are listed on the float, of course.
And Sandy Shmueli is an Israeli singer and songwriter who began his professional career as a member of the North Command Entertainment Group, which is stationed in the Golan Heights.
So we'll always remember Sandy Shmueli. Now we've got the pronouncer. Thank you so much, Becky. Yeah, you know, getting things right are important, you know, the pronunciation of names, because there's a lot of history that goes with these names. As you were pointing out, you know, Shmueli comes from Samuel.
It comes from the Bible.
Right. And there's so much history to be learned just from a name.
That is so true.
Yeah. So we are celebrating names and countries that are so proud, like Israel, to be part of this fabulous day in New York. You know, as you mentioned, there are so many different parades, and this one, you know, is special. I hosted the Greek parade, and next Sunday we're doing the Puerto Rican parade.
Oh wow!
And
so how would you say that this one stands out to you, Mr. King of Parades?
Oh, I don't know about being a king of parades, but you know what it is? I like the spirit and I like the mood. You can see the crowds are just being very respectful. They're celebrating, they're happy, and they're really pretty much under control, which is always nice. But they're just happy, and they're musical. Look at this guy up on stilts. Hey, look at you. You look great up there.
I've always wondered how hard that is to do.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to try that. But what I'd like to do is go back to Robert Moses right now, who's pretty close to the guy on the stilts. Hey, Robert. Whoop.
Hey, Ernie and Becky, it's good to see you. And we're here with one of our good friends, Judy Kopdal, who is a co-chair. I think you've been a co-chair of the parade for 12 years, something like that.
I remember the 50th anniversary of Israel, never mind the parade.
Wow.
16 years ago.
So good to see you, Judy. Talk about how this parade has evolved. And by the way, it takes a ton of planning.
It takes a lot of planning and a lot of soliciting for money for the parade, which I don't mind doing, so that's one of my main jobs. But we start planning starting tomorrow for next year.
This year's parade, obviously really special, the 50th anniversary of this parade. It started off small, it has gotten huge. And the theme this year, 50 Reasons to Celebrate Israel. What are some reasons why you celebrate?
Well, I just love that it's a wonderful place to be, to vacation, to go. We have a lot of family and friends living in Israel, and it's just a feel-good, wonderful place.
I want to wish you a happy belated birthday. You guys might remember, but last year we surprised Judy. I think it was the mother of all surprises. We surprised you with your own float for your birthday. Looking back at that, what was that surprise like?
I have to say, it was probably one of the best moments of my whole life. Other than being married and having children and grandchildren, it was the greatest. And the fact that so many people knew about it and got over me. My husband even made a book. This is what I saw coming up Fifth Avenue. And I have pictures of my interview with Robert even. This is what was going on. So So we have that.
Yeah.
So awesome that everybody knew but me, and it was a wonderful way to celebrate.
Well, what do you want people to take away from this parade? There's so much that divides us from day to day, but I think this is a day that really unifies us. What's the message for you taking away from this parade?
My message is nothing more or less than this is a wonderful, wonderful birthday party for Israel. We're celebrating Israel, where people who have differences with the parade or with Israel should just put it aside for the day, come out, sing and dance, enjoy the music, enjoy the sunshine, the kids, everyone who's here, and just show your support for Israel.
And the families, too. It's just amazing to see the generations here, right?
It is wonderful. It was wonderful. I have part of my family here. Not as many as that were here last year for my surprise, but enough that it's just great. And my grandson has been going up and down the avenue, my 4-year-old, and is just loving the bands and the marchers and everything going on.
What a perfect day. Judy Koftal, one of the co-chairs of the parade, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next year.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Robert. I love what she said there about whether you have issues, just come out and celebrate. It's a day to dance. It's a day to celebrate. I love that.
And she was also talking about how they're going to start planning
tomorrow.
Right, for the next parade.
You know what? I bet you Judy's going to start planning in about an hour and a half when
Probably
this parade
so.
ends at 4 p.m.
Yeah, and we had talked about that, you know, that this is the kind of planning that goes in advance. Someone, you know, so many wonderful people passing by, they tossed up this heart, this beautiful red heart that says, "We love Israel." Isn't that nice? I don't know if you can see that on camera, but this is very nice. The yellow shirts, by the way, that have been passing by, a lot of smiling faces. This is Yeshiva of Central Queens, celebrating today with the Golden Crown of Jerusalem. Just as Rabbi Akiva's wife merited having a golden crown for her dedication to Rabbi Akiva and his Torah, so too many may merit a golden crown for a devotion to the state of Israel, as they've wonderfully
Yerushalayim
expressed.
Shadazav, once again.
There you go.
As I told you, it's a very famous song, very classic, sung at many celebrations.
You know, it's nice, you were talking about social media. And look,
everybody's taking pictures of us.
Yeah, everybody's coming by, you know, and taking a photo, right? And they're tweeting it out, they're sending it out someplace. We didn't have access to that, you know. But here's the still walker again. Maybe we'll take.
I've always wondered how long one needs to practice to be able to do that.
Well, I don't know. You asked me. I've never tried it, so I don't know what it would be like. I would think that you really have to practice, because if you fall, you could really get hurt. But maybe we'll just wave to them and see if they'll wave back to us. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, look, he's even dancing on this thing.
Yeah, she has a date now.
Hi. I thought maybe I'd grab their attention.
They'd actually hear us because they're
I
so
did too.
high up.
Yeah, I know. I know. There you go. Well, they're throwing kisses back. Terrific. Yeah, you know, this is something that a lot of children enjoy.
How do you even get down from that?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a little course.
Probably a bit like the camel.
Maybe a little more difficult, actually. You know, I'm not sure. Okay. Woo, good to see you all. Okay, this is the Shai. This is the Sephardic Heritage Alliance.
This is what I was telling you earlier. I'm from Sephardic
Right.
Heritage, so we have different food. We don't speak Yiddish. Different types of music, which is considered more Mediterranean, Middle Eastern kind of music, which is more an Arabic flavor.
So there is a difference.
There is, because you're talking about the Ashkenazis that come from Europe versus Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria. So it's a totally different culture, and I love that Shai is celebrating that.
Yes, they're serving over 800 families in Great Neck, New York, 22 years. Shai's goal has been to meet the evolving needs of the Persian Jewish community, as you have pointed out, across generational lines, while promoting its conservative values, traditions, and Sephardic heritage.
And we also have another group marching from Great Neck, Temple Israel of Great Neck. They are probably the largest parade contingent from any conservative synagogue, which is impressive. They were established over 60 years ago, and they are a flagship conservative congregation, ethnically diverse. And their banner is, just like everybody else, celebrating 50 reasons to celebrate Israel. and it was created by the talented students of their schools, as we were talking.
Very
they go
nice.
to Hebrew schools, Bet Hagan preschool, the religious school, and the Waxman Hebrew School HS.
You know, it's nice
today
too,
they're
is
also
that-
proudly marching with the students
Yeah.
of Gehelit School, or Gehelit,
you know
sorry.
that when they go back to school tomorrow, a lot of these young people are going to be telling stories about marching in the parade, what they saw, who they talked to, a story that was shared with them. This is a big
The
part of this
pictures that they
experience.
took.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sharing all of that.
And here we have the Jewish Homeland Float, which celebrates the regions of Yehuda and Shomron in Judea and Samaria, the biblical and historical heartland of Israel. Their theme is where the past meets the future in the present.
Good one.
They're bringing the Bible into these days.
We also want to salute the United Mashadi, did say that right, Jewish Community, or Committee of America's Youth Committee.
I think you did.
Mashadi, from Great Neck, Long Island. Thank you for being here. How many floats? We've had so many floats today. We said about 250 proud marching groups. It's a lot of people.
35,000 people.
Right, right. and
Not
they-
including the people in the stands or across the almost 30 blocks of the parade.
Good long march. I think we're included in that group, are we not?
In the 35,000?
It's just an honor, isn't it, though, to be doing something like this? I mean, really having a bird's eye view of something like
Oh,
this.
we
where
have
you-
we have the best view.
It really is. And what's great about it, too, is that everyone just sort of passes by. We're right here at our broadcast booth, and we're able to just sort of reach
And
out to them,
everybody says
say
hello to
hi,
us.
shake their hands. They're passing
And-
along.
Or we can
Flags.
wave our flags.
Exactly. Pom-poms. I mean, people are just stopping
and
by.
and we get presents. People are throwing these stuff at us.
We love Israel.
Israel.
You know, we're just collecting things here all day long. I like that. Yeah, we just need to bring some of that food back. No, I was talking about sweets. Now, talk to me about, some of the delicacies.
I was
we
saying,
missed that.
I was saying baklava.
Baklava,
You
yeah.
know, baklawa,
Sure.
which is maybe one of my favorites.
I love it too.
Is so typical at an Israeli kind of Mediterranean restaurant, and it's so fresh.
Are you a cook? Do you share a lot of that with your family and friends? Have you learned a lot of great recipes, secret recipes that you can't even share on the news right now or on the air with
Well,
us?
there is one that my grandmother shared
Oh.
with me, and she doesn't share with anybody.
Oh, let's hear. Can you tell us?
I can't.
You can't. Well,
No,
give us
she-
a little clue.
You know what
What's
she
it
does?
like?
My cousin married an Ashkenazi, not a Sephardic. So she can't get half the stuff that my grandmother says because she'll say it with a bit of Yemenite, or she'll say it really quick.
Okay.
So she was basically telling her all the ingredients and running through them in Arabic, so my cousin's Ashkenazi wife wouldn't understand and wouldn't be able to make it for herself.
Oh, that's
So
the key.
she told me, I can't tell.
Did you
I
write it down
promise.
someplace to keep it, or is it just all in your head? It's up there, right? Well, who are you going to share that with someday? Because you have to pass that along.
I don't know yet.
No, I'm not sure yet, right?
I know my dad asked my grandmother for the Yemenite soup recipe, and
Yeah.
she wouldn't give him the recipe. She gave him like a mix. Hey there!
Hi.
And she gave him a mix of her soup mix. Like she made it specially for him so
Right.
he could take it back to the States. She would not. And I asked her once, why aren't you teaching everybody? And she says, because then they'll stop visiting me.
Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. I can understand that. But it's funny how a lot of people, when you ask them for a recipe, they'll
They'll
say,
get
"Oh, sure."
awkward about it.
No. Well, they will, but sometimes they'll actually give you the recipe, but they leave something out.
Of course, they don't want yours
Right?
to be better than theirs.
That's right. They can't do that, so they have their pride. Oh man. Okay, Robert is a busy guy today. Robert Moses, we're looking over at you. The sun is shining. It's nice and warm. Special guest. Hi there. How are you?
Robert, you have to say dash techen for me.
Wait, say that again. What do I have to say?
Dash. He'll understand.
Dash.
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 Dash?
Yes.
Dash.
Dash from Becky.
Dash back. Oh, Becky! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now I get it.
So this is Chen Aharoni, right? And Chen is not only a singer, but you're also a TV host in Israel. What don't you do?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to do everything that I like to do. but most of all, I'm a singer, so yeah.
And what's it like for you being here? This is your first Israel Day parade. What's it like being here in New York for that?
It's really exciting. It's really loud. But yeah, you know, everyone here for one reason, to celebrate Israel, and we spread the love, you know, out there. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
What do you think is the message? What's the message today at this parade, and what do you want people to take away from it?
Well, I think everyone just needs to know that we're people, everyone, we're all human beings, and we all, well, love to celebrate and love to have some fun. And I think that you can see our beautiful culture. We have like so variety of things in our culture, in our country. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and present myself and pop music, the Israeli pop music, and yeah, Israel.
Well, thank you very much. And I think Becky has a message for you. Becky, what do you want to tell him?
Go.
Well, first of all, Shalom Chen.
She says Shalom.
Oh, I love her. But here's a question for Chen, as a newcomer coming from Israel. What has what has been the most special thing to him watching this, watching everybody in New York celebrate Israel?
Becky wants to know what is the most special thing for you watching people here in New York celebrate Israel?
Well, I think that you can tell that everyone here just love to have some fun, and you have like religious people, and you have some Americans, maybe not even Jewish people, that just want to see a different, culture and a different, and just to see happy people. Like, we're all happy here. It's a sunny day, beautiful day. I love to be in New York. The last time I've been here, it was sandy, so it's like my first time here.
Wow.
So yeah, just fun.
Thank you so much, Chen Aharoni, and guys, we'll send it back up to you.
That was nice.
Thank you, Robert, and Toda Chen. Of course, Toda is thank you to Chen, a pretty big Israeli star, pop star back home.
That's great, and I like what he was saying, because this is the great melting pot. This is the great mosaic, and that's why, we have so much appreciation in this city for whichever parade, whatever we're celebrating, and I like that a lot. As we were talking a little bit, there was a marching group that went by.
Yes, as Chen was saying, it's loud.
It's loud. Well, that loud group, and a very good group, though, they were the Connecticut Hurricanes Drum and Bugle Corps. They're based out of Seymour, Connecticut, and this is the only world-class all-age drum corps in New England. Draws its members from throughout Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, as well as New York State and the New York metropolitan area.
And they've been operating since 1932.
That's some history that they have.
That's almost 100 years.
Yeah, Connecticut Hurricanes
Getting
Drum and
close
Bugle
to it.
Corps. Thank you for being a part of this terrific parade today. Lovely, lovely weather, lovely day, and great people. And you're getting me hungry. See, you keep talking about these recipes.
know.
We started thinking about what your recipes are being passed along and ones that you don't want to share. Look at this Pitopia.
That's the Pitopia with our pizza and the falafel and the salad. And you know what, Ernie, I think Israeli food is very similar to Greek food. There's a lot of salads. There's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, that Mediterranean diet.
Yeah, it's
fruits
light,
and vegetables.
light food, not tons of dressings on it, olive oil.
A lot of olive oil.
Lemon, something very kind of basic, but yeah, I mean.
And we had that little poll today, and hummus. Hummus was the winner. People like,
or as they say, in the Middle East, hummus.
Hummus. Yeah, it's great taste. No, food is very important. It's a part of every culture, as well as music. But I think,
you know what I've noticed here? Not everybody knows what to do with hummus. I've had friends come to visit, and then they tweet that they were served hummus with cheddar cheese and tomatoes and all these things, or they don't understand the concept of wiping it with the pizza. It seems weird to them to do that and not like take a knife and spread it on your bread sort of thing. And it's just like, no, wipe it.
One of the things that I remember most when I first came to New York with a roommate. We had a great time together, and his family was fantastic. The Gordons, Michael, Polly, and my friend Peter, who happened to be at my wedding, in fact. He's one of my ushers, Peter Gordon. I don't know if he's even watching right now. But his mom, Polly, would make this kugel that was out of this world with some pineapple in it. It was just delicious. And so anytime I have a chance to enjoy that, I'm telling you, it brings back great memories, but what a taste.
The smell of the falafel right next to me is driving me crazy. But Robert, are you what, the owner of Potopia? Or somebody from Potopia?
I'm actually with Ilan Kornblum, who is the publisher of Great Kosher Restaurants International. It's a yearly magazine that comes out. And he also provided all of this food that you guys need to share with me later, hint, hint. Ilan, thanks so much for joining us. First of all, tell me a little bit about the catalog and why you guys publish it. What's the goal here?
All right, so we've been doing it for 10 years. It's an international magazine, kosher restaurants. We kind of wanted to show that kosher restaurants can be as beautiful and popular as non-kosher restaurants. So we started this about 10 years ago. It's been doing fantastic. Great way to, again, get the word out for kosher. We're proud to be a sponsor for the last 10 years. We've been involved with the parade, starting from a golf cart, where we gave out magazines to 5,000 people, to a float, and now to organizing the food for Ernie and everybody in the team. So, and thank you to Potopia for providing the food, and we're great to be a part of it. We're happy to be a part of it.
Now, let's talk about the way this parade has evolved, because you have seen quite an evolution over your 10 years of involvement, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the parade this year. What does this celebration mean to you coming up Fifth Avenue here year in, year out?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, you know, marching down when I went to Shua Flatbush. So this has really been a progression for the last 30 years. And so it's bringing back a lot of great memories, a unity for sure, being everyone coming together, celebrating Israel. So just proud to be Jewish, proud to be, you know, my brother lives in Israel, my grandparents lived in Israel, so just proud to be a part of it. You know, talking about restaurants, you can do a magazine full of restaurants in Israel. It's fantastic. So we're proud to be a part of it, and great day. Enthusiasm is electric, so it's amazing.
Well, thank you for taking a couple minutes, and by the way, if you have any leftovers...
Yes, falafel and schnitzel for the whole crew.
All right. Ilan Kornblum, thanks a lot. Ernie and Becky, back to you.
Did you hear that? Schnitzel for the whole crew. I think the whole crew is definitely hungry. But we're going to take, the camera guy behind is going, yes, yes, yes. Everybody's up for schnitzel.
Well, I want it.
Or falafel.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back in just a second. We're going to go back to commercial and be back here with all the craziness, the falafel, the hummus, and
all
everything.
of it. Toda Rabah. We want it now. Celebrate with us. Thank you. Bank Leumi USA is proud to support the 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade.
Another year you made a promise, another chance to turn it all around. And do not save this for tomorrow. Embrace the past and you can live for now. And I will give the world to you. This is a new year. We are the voices. This is a new year.
Your enterprise is growing. Your markets are expanding. Whether you do business around the block or around the world, you need solid professional banking services tailor-made to meet your needs. We're here to tie it all together for you. Bank Leumi USA. Whatever your business, wherever you do it, you'll find Bank Leumi nearby and always there for you. Bank Leumi USA. Let us tie it all together with you.
The 2014 Celebrate Israel Parade is produced by the Jewish Community Relations Council. For more information, visit jcrcny.org. The parade is sponsored by UJA Federation of New York, the State of Israel, the Jewish Communal Fund, and supported by Bank Leumi USA, Israel Bonds, and the Israeli American Council. Continue to celebrate LL Israel. That is the theme today, among other things, right?
That's what all the sports fans also chant at sports games,
Yep.
international sports games. LL Israel.
Very nice.
Or Israel.
Israel. Let's talk about this wonderful academy.
Yavne Academy from Paramus, New Jersey. They chose to celebrate 50 years of friendship in this
parade that basically honors the special friendship between the State of Israel and the United States of America.
Yeah, a lot of marchers and dancers, very enthusiastic here today. They're celebrating their annual tradition. The symbolism of the Israeli flag and the menorah, along with the American flag. We're seeing that mixed in, of course, today with the Israeli flag
And the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. They have all of the principles that we all understand, the democratic principles and liberties shared by both countries, and we celebrate with you today, and we thank you so much. Hey, how about the Bushwhackers Drum and Bugle Corps? They're coming up from behind.
Are they?
Yeah, this is a world champion group from northern New Jersey, and their mission is to provide a competitive, world-class educational and fun drum corps experience to their members.
Who are 14 to 50 years plus old. That's a huge variety.
Yeah, it is. It's quite an age group. I'm sure they have a lot of stories to share with each other.
They're also 6-time DCA champions.
Congratulations.
So these guys are good.
The Bushwhackers Drum and Bugle Corps. There they go. Thank you. Okay. You know, we've heard from so many of the Drum and Bugle Corps teams that came by today, and it's always part of a parade to hear a drum and bugle corps.
I mean, yeah, it would be weird if they didn't have that.
Right. And it's mixed in with a lot of the entertainment. You know, some of the professional people that are here today sharing their
But Ernie,
talents.
as
Yes.
you keep falling off our stage.
Be careful on there. Yes, I don't want you to fall down.
So as we said, you do all these parades, and you have been for many, many years.
I've been enjoying them.
So why is that? Why do you think all these parades have these drum and bugle corps?
Well, I just think that it's a base. You know, you start with that.
And you build everything around it?
Yeah, I think that any parade is going to have a drum and bugle corps. I mean, you go to a high school band, you know, listen to them, and the basic instruments are there. But I mean, I think as the floats continue, and I've seen them with all the different parades, you have a lot of sponsors.
Of course.
You have a lot of different
As
organizations.
you were talking earlier, she needs to bring in, you know, money. That's what she's starting to do tomorrow.
You know, that's really important, and I think that's the basics that we have to go back to, that it takes money to be able to create a lot of this. And they do fundraising throughout the year. They have different events that they sponsor. They meet with different groups to be able to get that kind of financial support.
I mean, even to bring the groups over, not everybody is from New York City.
Right.
We had groups here from Connecticut, from New Jersey, just to even put everybody together. The T-shirts that they're wearing, the travel, those are things that cost money.
Yeah, speaking of T-shirts, you know, you're seeing all of these T-shirts. What a great business to be in, right? I mean, so many T-shirts today, and they're all just colorful, and I love the design work
and
on them.
each group has their different
distinctive.
different color. And now we can see the Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey. I just mentioned New Jersey. They also traveled a bit to get here, and they are joined by partners from the Jared Berman Day School, the Paramus Jewish Center, Congregation Bet Tikva, the Glen Rock Jewish Center, the Fair Lawn Jewish Center, Congregation B'nai Israel, Temple Israel, Temple Bet Shalom, and many others, including even the Paramus Police Department.
Yes, congratulations to the Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey. We should also mention the Manhattan Day School, the students of Manhattan Day School, the Jewish leaders of tomorrow, celebrating Israel's 66th birthday, of course, and the golden anniversary of the parade. Their banners, as we can see, you know, from each one of these different groups and organizations, they have the accomplishments of the State of Israel beautifully, beautifully portrayed on a postage stamp throughout the years, and nicely done, including immigration and statesmanship, archaeology, technology, music, democracy, science, sports, agriculture, and a lot more. Nicely done. Hi. Hi there. Okay, see, there's always a leader.
See,
right?
yeah, the guy with the megaphone is going, guys, we're on TV. You're too quiet.
Yeah, but you know, that's part of the organization. Hello. You have to have somebody out there that takes charge and brings people around. And, you know, speaking of the different age groups, you're right, even the people that are marching.
Yeah, little kids with their parents or youth groups.
Little babies, you know, being held by their parents, and some of the older people that are out there, you know, the people who give us a lot of the flavor of this parade. Here you go. Look at this cute little guy. Come on, wave to us. I love their spirit. I'd like to be able to read some of the things that they'll be talking about in school tomorrow. Sometimes they write papers about these.
Their
We've done some interviews where you ask
what they saw and how fun it was. You know what? I know a lot of people actually watch the broadcast just to be able to see, you know, their family members and their friends marching down Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, and a lot of people are also taping it so they can play it back later and send it out to friends as well. But the fact that we have so much access these days, whether it's a camera or it's an iPad, whatever it is, we have so many photographs.
You can be everywhere and share everything with everybody.
Okay, we have another group that's marching with us, and this is the Manhattan Day School that we did mention, because this is a wonderful
Yes,
group.
we were just talking about them.
Yeah, they're with their banners and
look
the
at their
50
shirts. They
accomplishments.
have different designs printed out on each shirt.
Yeah, this is the postage stamp.
Yeah, those posts you were talking about.
Right, and they've got all of these different themes, whether it's immigration or music and science and sports. Wonderful group, Manhattan Day School. We thank you all for being here today. Happy, happy students, happy boys and girls. Hi, how are you? We even have a dog. Look at that. I don't know if we got a shot of that little dog.
A dog with a flag.
Oh, man. Hi there. How are you? Good
there
to see you all. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a good day today.
Dog with a flag.
Yeah. We include everybody. Okay, here we go. The Jewish literacy practice and peoplehood. Hello. How are you? The holidays are very important, too, in the Jewish tradition. There are a lot of key holidays that are celebrated.
The biggest ones are definitely Passover, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur. This song is very famous. Eze Medina, what a country, very, very special. Miuchedet b'mina.
If you talk about modern-day Israeli music, because I can relate to other countries that have gone through the same thing, there are the traditional songs that have been there like forever, but then there's the new wave, all of the new music. You have the same type of...
Yeah, I think we have something that is called Middle Eastern music. It has a more kind of Arabic sound to it, and that is more... That is the most unique form of music that is come from Israel. That is not influenced by, say, international pop culture.
Right.
And in a similar way that, say, hip hop and rap wasn't that popular here, but now it's mainstream. The same thing happened with that kind of music in Israel. A few decades ago, you couldn't really see that on the television or hear it on mainstream radio. Now it's the most popular music in the country.
What about television shows and films?
Are you kidding me? We are the biggest exporter of television formats to the United States. There is practically every television show on American television is based on an Israeli format, whether it's game shows or TV dramas or films that win Oscars and Golden Globes. I have so many friends that I've known from the industry back home who are now over here because once they produced something for Israeli television and then sold it over here,
are they going kind of back and forth as they produce something in Israel and then bring it to the U.S. and then do something here and bring it back to Israel?
Well, since everybody in American television is buying Israeli television, they decided why produce it in Hebrew and then sell it that way if we can just sell it directly to American television.
All right.
And now we can see the Magen David Yeshiva. Magen David is the Star of David. That's what it is.
It is. They're from Brooklyn, New York.
And they're the country's largest Syrian Sephardic Yeshiva day school. And their theme is Am Echad, which is one nation. Lev Echad is one heart. Keshir Echad, as one song. Kulanu Ke'echad is we are all one.
Together we are one.
Yes. See, I do know Hebrew. You're just cheating. You knew it all the time.
Oh, man. All right, so we've been just having a great time since we actually started broadcasting on television in New York at noon.
Yes,
and
we
then
did.
We started our on broadcast, our streaming here, and music coming by, and people are excited, but we have to make sure that we give a chance to Robert Moses to say goodbye for us.
We do.
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Ernie and Becky, just wanted to say what a pleasure it was to be with you guys. and to spend my 3rd year here at this parade. It's always such an honor. So thanks for letting me be a part of it. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Robert. And,
Thanks, Robert. Great to see you again.
Becky, we've just had a great time today. We've shared so much.
We did.
Yeah, we need to have a nice Hagorino here. Oh, that's great. It's fantastic.
I
We had
know.
a great time.
go. We need to eat though.
We are. We're going to take a little break.
We need to go have hummus and falafel and
We're
whatever.
gonna do that right now. We'll celebrate a little bit. We've got We Love Israel. We're gonna hold that up for you one more time. We thank you so much. We've had a terrific day, and so many of the people that have been here celebrating with us with such a joyous attitude and feeling. And you know,
for the Jubilee celebration.
Yeah, this is great. And we're gonna hopefully we'll be together next year. I hope. Soul Farmers next. Give a listen to them. We're gonna say goodbye. Thanks for joining us. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.